Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Low Budget LCS. It is I, Les Force, bringing us back-to-back streams here in the Financial League. Joined with me once again, we've got Zodiac. How we doing tonight?
I am doing amazing. I have filled a Dr. Pepper cup with some Dr. Pepper and substances, so we are ready to go for what should be a banger of a series.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever tried mixing my corianders with Dr. Pepper. Sounds like it's a risky endeavor for sure. But I'm not gonna stop you from it, right? You'll have to let me know how it is. But yeah, absolutely do have a banger here. Are you aware of kind of the stakes that are here today in this Financial Group A game?
Yes, I am. I do believe that should High Alert win this series, they're basically, I believe they will need Buttermilk to lose to, I believe, the number one team in Financial A, that being, of course, needlessly large rods, to make playoffs. Um, and then I think for Anima, I don't know if they have or mathematically can get into playoffs. I'm not sure, but again, there's always stakes in playing spoiler.
Yeah, so basically the stakes at hand. Hyler started the season 1-3, and Financial Group A. It's looking like you need to get about five series wins in order to make playoffs, and so they pretty much had to run, or they have to run, a full gauntlet through the rest of their 4 series of games, and so far they've done it twice. They won against Sensei Randall's and they won against BYU. The next test here is today against Anima. And then I think they have a series against the Team Trash Pandas. And if they're able to do all of that, depending on what the outcome of the BYU NLR series is later this week, we will potentially see Hyler make that miraculous comeback into the 4 slot. Now Anima is mathematically eliminated from playoffs, I believe. But what they do have the chance to do is play major spoiler here. It's kind of... it's up to them, as far as like denying High Alert that ability to go to playoffs. And Anima, I mean, we've played against both these teams. I'm sure we will talk about that over the course of the stream. We've played against both these teams, so I think Anima is certainly a team that can certainly compete here.
Yeah, they actually have a pretty decent lineup. They play really well together, especially throughout the early games of matches. At least from what I can remember. But yeah, there is always something to be said about, playing spoilers to a team that, is trying to go on a miraculous run. But if you're that team going on a miraculous run, you kind of feel like you have all the momentum, as we are starting with the draft and the brand first off the board for the side of Anima.
Yeah, brand off the table, the famous Kiale. Shaco support. Maybe I cast or curse that into a ban. If they ban it, I don't really blame them. That's not fun to play against at all. I do see we have several Sethi fans in chat. I actually believe I recognize a couple of these names. Members of that legendary Rev Resparked roster
Rev up.
coming out to shout out their former jungler. There is the Ivern ban. I believe that's been banned just about every game against Hyler, except for our series.
Right.
It was ridiculously high prio.
Right. And I don't even know if we played it against High Alert, but I do know it is one of Sethi's most favorite champions. There's the Ace Soul. I think this champion is one of the most giga-busted champions in the game right now. He really just doesn't have any losing lanes of champions that are good. And so I do like to see it being taken away. Now, this does leave up the two, I guess, queens of bot lane right now in Jinx and Zeri. These are the best 2 static Shiv users for crit AD carries. These 2 champions can absolutely run over games. So both are left open right now, as we do see the Shaco support being taken away from Anima. So I wonder if Anima may put some priority on the Jinx, or potentially on that Zeri.
Yeah, a couple things just got redeemed that we have to take note of. First of all, we have the Hunk cash. Both these actually cashed in by Omnis Penguin. We have Sethi is the Hunk, except his name is no longer Sethi. It is Big Turk. So
Yeah, so
we need to
Big
keep that in
Turk
mind.
is the hunk.
Big Turk is the hunk. Big Turk is the jungler for High Alert. 80 carries being picked up here early. We got Ash, B1 for Anima, and currently Hover Ezreal for High Alert.
Yeah, so the Ezreal Hover, this is a very safe pick into Ashe. Ashe is normally an AD carry that wants to kind of dominate that kind of early game, obviously with the slows, but Ezreal kind of doesn't allow her to do that. Very interesting to see that neither team is looking for, that Jinx or Zeri, as it does get locked in. Now, what do you want to pair this Ezreal with? You can obviously do something maybe like a Zillion or a Janna. I'm not just saying those out of my butt, out of my ass. I'm sorry.
Good clarification.
Yeah, good clarification. As there it is, the Zillion. Callie is a Zillion player. This is something that I think we banned against him a lot.
Played it both games in their last series against BYU. Gonna go I almost have to assume Grasp of the Undying, and looking to go for something a little spicy. We'll wait until game to talk about the rest of it. But yeah, I think the way High Alert likes to play, Kiale wants to be able to go around the map and kind of support other lanes, and I think Ezreal pairs super well with that. Gragas getting picked up, pretty strong flex. You can play it top, you can play jungle. If you're really crazy, you can play it mid lane.
Or support. Don't forget, it can go support.
It can go support. That is factual.
Or nine-head idea. It's a Gragas. Okay, never mind. Yeah. I was gonna say it's a Gragas AD carry with an Ashe support. Once the Nautilus gets hovered, that plan gets kind of thrown out the window.
Well, I mean, I played with the Nautilus top yesterday, so I think not mathematically eliminated, right? No, I think Ashe Nautilus is a pretty stock standard bot lane. A lot of crowd control, a lot of just lane dominance. I feel like the early lane should go to them. And I think Nautilus is another character that can kind of go around the map, look to make plays elsewhere, kind of match what we might be seeing out of the Zillion. And on R3, we are going to get the Poppy, which straight up denies a lot of what Gragas wants to do. Certainly, I would have to assume that that's going into the jungle for Big Turk, but technically could be a flex as well.
It could be a flex, and right now I'm a little bit worried about Anima's gaming comp into High Alert, because right now Anima Gaming just wants to hit that knot hook or hit that Ashe arrow and just one-shot whoever they hit with it. But High Alert has so many ways to just say no, you're not killing this person. Not only just with the Zillion ulti, but also with Zillion double bomb, with Ezreal's mobility, with the Poppy Keeper's Verdict. It's really hard, I feel like, for Anima to right now get onto this Ezreal, and even if they do get onto him, kind of kill him for sure.
Yeah, definitely a lot of denial on the side of High Alert so far, while Anima has a lot of go in. So it's going to be that kind of clash of ideologies, and I think, both teams probably going to look to continue to index into that. You kind of don't want to find yourself as half a disengage comp, half a go in comp. So we'll see kind of, which side of that equation gets the advantage here through the next set of picks. We see Talia and Udyr, bit of split bans for High Alert, and the Yone, I believe that's more so a bear ban from Anima.
That would be more of a bear ban, yeah. And there's the Syndra, so it is kind of a split bans as well for the side of Anima. But right now I feel like Anima just needs more damage, and yeah, there's another champion where it's really hard to even if you lock her down, if she can just get that ult off, it's really hard to kill Ahri. So I think what Anima Gaming needs right now in their comp is they just need a huge damage dealing source, because Ashe needs to ramp up to do damage. Gragas, I mean, he does. If he goes the one-shot build, he can do damage, but it's hard for him. So they just need a huge damage source coming out of what I would assume to be. Well, actually, now they're jungler, and I don't hate this Lilia pick. Oh, never mind. It will be the Cassio instead. I thought about it. I said I don't hate the Lilia. Then I'm like, wait, I kind of hate the Lilia because I don't know how Lilia ever reaches any of them. But the Cassio is nice. Kind of denies a little bit of the Ahri dash. If Ahri goes in and then gets immediately stunned, and there it is, the Nocturne. So full on indexing onto try and one shot. As no, I get baited again. Just
Never trust the hover is gonna be a Graves pickup. So that very likely means we're going to be seeing Gragas in the top lane and Graves in the jungle, which leaves top lane counter pick for High Alert. You see all the cards out on the table. We should also just mention that we do have 2 bear facts to redeem, and I know that's your area of expertise. I know you've got them on deck, so I will give you some time to prepare for Papoba.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. People are outraged over the Shaco support ban, and it's going to be Gangplank in the top lane. One of Bear's signature picks. I believe he played it both of these last 2 series. I think they were both wins. So certainly I think that's just a lot of comfort for High Alert.
Yeah, it is a little bit of comfort. I'm quite surprised we don't actually see the set coming out here, because I feel like set. I know Gangplank is, you know, one of Bear's kind of his like staple champion other than Cassante. But I feel like set here would just kind of go bonkers, because like Nahus hooks in, you literally just pick Nahus up and then just kind of dump him on the enemy team. And then there's like, I don't know. I'm not saying I don't hate the Gangplank pick. The thing is with Gangplank is you need to be at objectives first, right? You have to get the barrel set up. You have to deny vision to make it impossible for Anima Gaming to walk in. And, you know, I don't know how doable that is, especially because eventually, like, Graves can put a lot of pressure on the map. And if the lanes start to fall behind, it kind of gets hard to kind of deal with these carries of Anima.
Yeah, I think being first to the objective is going to be big for Anima, especially considering you have like the pick tools of the Ashe, the Nautilus. Cass can get a good R off. You want to set up this Graves, who's really kind of designed to be your primary carry, because it is going to be hard to walk into Gangplank barrels. It's going to be hard to walk into Ahri Charm, Ezreal poking over the top. I think there's a lot of pressure on Anima to kind of like make things happen. Otherwise, I think the poke advantage just kind of goes the way of High Alert. So I'm interested to see how guys like Rebel Phoenix and Say Why Not on their namesake here are gonna be able to make things happen.
Yeah, it's all about this early laning phase, I feel like, for the bot lane, because top and mid, there's not really, especially mid lane, there's nothing that's going to happen mid lane. As someone who's played this matchup a bunch of times, nothing happens in this lane. So it's really going to be looked to this bot lane. But I am prepared. I do have some bear facts. I have 2 bear facts. Of course, for those who are unaware, is when I have to do my bear facts, since I work in collegiate athletics, I give fun facts about universities that mascots are bears. So here are some fun facts about the University of California, Berkeley, otherwise known as just kind of Cal, if you're out there. So first off, many Californian-based students and families will be aware of the Stanford Axe and the big game between the 2 schools. The tradition began in 1899 at a Cal versus Stanford baseball game, when the axe was brandished at the Stanford rooting section and captured by Cal fans at game's end. It was made into the trophy for the annual big game in the 1930s. The other fun fact is UC Berkeley was founded in 1868 and has the motto Fiat Lux, which translates roughly to "Let light be made."
Well, there you have it. I hope
your bear fact.
I hope Papoba is satisfied. I did hear he was going to spend a lot of schmeckles on bear facts tonight. While I'm going ahead and setting up the predictions here, just a quick shout out to Vader Use Choke for the gifted sub. Didn't forget you. Just had some bear facts that we had to get out there. Papoba did pay for those. Didn't want to keep him waiting. Didn't want to have him like request a return. It's like a whole customer service type thing. So, let me go ahead and I'm gonna set up predictions. Zodiac, we're in this group. We've played against both of these teams. As the mid laner specifically, can you tell me a little bit about, I guess, both of these guys? Engineer and Frog.
So, I will be quite frank. It's the engineer, or engineer, I guess his name would be called. I don't remember too much about that lane, only because that was the first game of the season. And so a lot of time has passed. But I did play Frog a lot recently, and one thing I will say about Frog is that he plays a lot. He plays very aggressive champs, and he always tries to pick champions in lanes where he feels like he can have an advantageous laning phase. With that being said, one of his biggest downfalls, and maybe something that Engineer can kind of benefit off of, is that he sometimes picks those aggressive lanes and champions, but he doesn't often pilot them to how you need to pilot them in the lane. As I'm actually I'm unironically trying to scroll up. Okay, Engineer. Okay, he played. Sorry, like I'm trying to like scroll up and like find what Engineer played against us in week 1, because again, that was back in February and it is April, and so 2 months have passed. But what I do remember about Engineer is he does like to play a lot of champions that support his team. Um, so things like when we played, he played the Talia, he played the Twisted Fate. So things that can really get him around the map and kind of, prop up the side lanes, which in all fairness is kind of the mid lane's job right now. It's you buy your tier item, and then you buy your Leandries or Horizon Focus, and then you just spend the entire game running around, pocketing the AD carry. Blah, 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 blah. We need to protect our AD carries. Blah, 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 blah.
Such a way with words there at the end. Thank you, Zodiac. You have another bear fact cashed in by Vader Use Choke. We got 20 seconds left on the spectator delay. So if you've got the bear fact ready, we can rip it right now. I'm going to go ahead and switch us over to the client, as we should be loading in any second.
So, quick bear fact. This is about a smaller school in Mercer University, located in Georgia. Mercer was the only college in Georgia to remain in secession during the Civil War. After the Civil War ended, Mercer was the only university in or out of the South to award General Robert E. Lee an honorary degree. He was granted a Doctorate in Laws diploma. A doctorate in law. Hold on. Why is it said like this? He was granted a Doctor of Laws diploma. Just say he was granted a doctorate in law. Whatever.
Weird
Listen.
Way to phrase it.
Just think, someone got paid like at least like couple hundred dollars to write that, and it went through like a bunch of checks, and so. Also, are you in game?
I am in game, but the Streamlabs is not picking up the video for some reason. Gonna have to do a little bit of management here on the backside.
Yeah, you might have to do as I will do some play-by-play, kind of like the olden times, when you have the radio system. Nothing's happening, just a trade of wards on the for both teams. Quick skin and rune check. Cassio's not using a skin. We have Mafia Graves. We have the very nice Gragas skin. We have, I believe this is. I have no idea what Ash skin this is. I'm gonna be real. I generally have no idea. I guess now they're just. Oh, it's Worlds. Okay, cool, perfect. And then we do have Astronaut. Okay, I'm at 140, so I will just pause and let you catch up.
Go ahead and pause it like 150 perhaps. I'm at 118, 119. So okay. About 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of money to be made here on Anima. We've got about another minute on the predictions. Good call out from Loki Aurora. Perhaps I'm ruining the betting odds here. We'll go ahead and set this to directed because it's not doing it on its own. Yeah, we see Poppy starting up on the top side, going solo on the red buff, and Papa Potion going to pick up the leash on their red. So opposite starts. We're at 145, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I shouldn't expect anything to really start from this lane. I mean, the Hunk, aka Big Turk, just kind of doing a standard clear. So both junglers are kind of clearing opposite sides. Now, this will actually benefit the Poppy more, because Poppy will have the ability to gank the bot lane that should have shove. And Zilean is honestly really good at setting up.
Good hook in there from Say Why Not. Gonna have to force the flash out of Kiali right away. And look at this damage going in onto Bullet. That is a one trade for Anima Gaming's bot lane. And you have to imagine that Say Why Not is gonna be looking for it again.
Yeah, he's gonna have to keep looking for it, because again, the bot lane overall does outscale you. As another hook lands.
Another hook lands, another flash popped. Living up to his namesake, both flashes popped within the first 2 minutes of the game. But as the legendary Bigfoot once said, if you pop a flash and you don't come back and take advantage of it, it's like you didn't pop it at all. So,
well, thankfully it wasn't due to a jungler's gank, so that does help as Bear and Windfall Panda are trade up a little bit here. Bear is low on mana and does need to clear these last 2 waves, but we'll have a barrel to set him up as Windfall's actually taking a decent chunk of damage, but
Windfall trying to bait them up. I think Bear's able to sniff it out though. Bear really playing risky here. Bear gonna flash and go for the parlay. He does get the kill, and that's gonna be a trade over. Pop Potion able to pick that one up. 1 for 1, but first blood going over to the Gangplank.
yeah, Bear recognizing, hey, I'm probably just dead here. Let me just at least get this first blood, get myself ahead, and Gangplank when he's ahead is so scared for the opposing top laner. As I do see people talking in chat, yes, that AD carry is Bullets. I don't ask why he changed his name. I can't give you a good answer, even though I'm in that server like a lot. I can't answer that question.
A lot of damage, and Papa Potion coming back for the repeat. Windfall Panda does have the flash. Do they look to try and engage? There is the E flash in. Bear getting awfully low there. Papa Potion, but the minions, that is really well played there from Bear. Graves really just not able to get through those minions with the auto attacks, and so ultimately it's a flash for some damage.
Yeah, flat for some damage, but Bear should be able to just kind of soak and sit under his turret because Gragas doesn't have that much kill pressure on him right now, especially if the wave is under his turret as Frog and Engineer are just gonna try and keep maybe themselves alive. I did say that nothing happens in this lane, but Frog is once again proving me wrong. As his aggressive positioning is gonna net him a huge crash in here. We'll be able to shouldn't have to TP either, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to TP with drag coming up. But Cassio should be fine just to kind of last it a bunch of these. Yeah, it does pick up, I believe, a good chunk of them.
Yeah, a lot of trading top lane, a lot of trading mid lane. There are definitely opportunities for solo kills here. Bear pretty low on the mana once again. One of those struggles with Gangplank, especially if you're going for the parlays, you kind of are very mana dependent as trying to hit that barrel on the Windfall who has that natural sustain on the Gragas. We do see that movement coming up from Anima. They are sending Nautilus up for these grubs, and it looks like it's just going to be uncontested. Well, actually, yeah, Bear kind of going back in there. These guys are getting awfully low, but Bear does have the ult. I think Windfall recognizes this, waiting for his team to come up. Say Why Not, good ult here, trying to clear the wave, but Say Why Not is in the vicinity. I think Bear recognizes his time is not long for the world. He's going to get hit up by the passive from Nautilus, trying to donate this over to somebody else, but Windfall Pit is actually a little scared to walk up. There it is, gonna pick up the kill, and that is 2-1 in the favor of Anima.
Yeah, good patience there from Windfall. A lot of people are just kind of immediately throw themselves at the Gangplank, like, hey, my Nautilus is here, but does recognize that, hey, he has a barrel in front of him. I can't just go in and take that kill. And great job by Say Why Not, because a lot of my supports, I cannot lie, would have taken that kill from me. So, what can you do? But a great job by him. And so Windfall is gonna be feeling pretty good about himself. He does have the Catalyst now, so we'll be able to kind of solve a lot of Gragas' mana problems. But if you cannot just keep this gank, like, you cannot just kill the Gangplank twice and be like, all right, yeah, we're good now for the rest of the game. You should keep trying to give him all this attention, because if he just allowed to sit here and scale, it doesn't matter how far behind he is, because he has all of that gold generation naturally in his kit, he will catch back up to this Gragas.
You have caught the attention of the supports in chat. Both of them saying that they would have stolen the kill. Sethy coming down here. Actually, Big Turk, good passive there from Nautilus, trying to get him off the Ash, but he is going to hit the E, not going to get him into the wall, and that's going to be hook over from Say Why Not. These guys are getting awfully low in the bot lane. Sethy actually going to have to walk this one out. Rumble Phoenix also getting super low. The passive, though, the Lethal Tempo proccing, and that is going to be a kill over to Ash, and then that's going to be traded over onto the Zillion. Oops, Big Turk getting super low, and that's going to be a 2-for-1 in the favor of Anima Gaming. Say Why Not. Direct Ken doesn't want to show us. Looked like he was maybe fishing for the hook, but 2-for-1. Anima probably feeling pretty good about that one.
Yeah, 2-for-1, especially when you get the gank. That means Graves is able to walk into Poppy's jungle, clear her top side,
this roam from Windfall Panda. Good heads up play though from Frog, going away, not getting susceptible to the cast there. Sethi and Papa Potion gonna interact here. A lot of trading, can't quite tell. Looks like the buff actually did go over to Big Turk.
Well, Papa might be dead here.
Yep, Bear coming over as well. On the wrong side of the map is Papa Potion. Big Turk doing as much damage as he can. Bear trying to get over so that he can get the barrels up. But Engineer is actually also here on the backside. Papa Potion just running for the hills. Frog is coming up as well. Ashar's not quite able to hit, and these guys are split. Flash over from Frog. Mana is super low, but that's a massive Cassiopeia. It's the cast, guys. 2 kills over to Anima Gaming. Trade 2 for 2. And I think we're done. Windfall Panda.
I hope we're done.
I hope we're done there. That is going to be a 2 for 2. And this game is bloody.
This game is bloody as it is explosive. A huge ult from Engineer to basically secure at least the net neutral fight for the side of Anima Gaming. As they're not done, Rebel Phoenix and Say Not are looking for more. But they won't get any.
Good trading up back here on the backside, and it is that Grass of the Undying from Kiale. I do expect that we'll see what they were building in their series against Sensei Randall's, which is this Warmogs tech. Someone who is maybe smarter than me that plays support can maybe fully explain the tech, but I believe the idea is you get a lot of ability haste, you get the ability to, actually we'll have to hold that thought and say why not, getting hit up by the double bomb, getting slowed there. Ooh, Sethi trying to get him against the wall. Good positioning though from Say Why Not. He's not going to get knocked into the wall, but that does look like it's going to be enough damage on the backside, and they're trying to give over the kill to Bullet, but it is going to have to be picked up by that Poppy passive. Big Turk getting a kill in their pocket.
Yeah, Big Turk gets himself a kill, gets himself a little bit back in the game. He was remember able to pick up that red buff, so he doesn't lose that much CS. And looking around the map in terms of CS, we're actually at a dead even gold state. But I feel like if you're if you're Anima, if you're dead even at this state, you're kind of feeling a little bit of the pressure, because I feel like High Alert with the Zillion, with the Gangplank, scale really well.
Yeah, Grace is one of those picks where you kind of have to make the early game count. Because, you know, if you're kind of playing in that, like, even state throughout, it just doesn't feel as good in, you know, a competitive setting when you have things like the Poppy that are always going to have, you know, utility with the crowd control. But Graves is kind of one of those things, you have to get the farm, you have to be able to kind of, like, push your own advantage. We do see Nautilus already up here on the top side. Looks like they're going to be contesting these grubs, but Kiale is in response. And Say Why Not's actually on the wrong side of the rift right now by themselves. The Avengers are coming. They're going to go over the grub wall. Does Ari hit the charm? Do they go for this look? It looks like they're actually going to play this one slow, as we do see Papa Potion coming back up.
Yeah, what's also really important is that even if they get 6 grubs, hold on, the Hunk is looking on Say Why Not.
And that's going to be the double bomb, and I don't think Nautilus is going to be able to survive this one. Getting super low there, trying to do as damage as they can. Big Turk actually pretty low on the backside. Cassiopeia is roaming down, but this is a 3v4, 2v4 actually, with Windfall catching the wave. Ooh, I don't think you want this fight if you're Anima Gaming. They're going to try and do as much damage as they can. Good charm there on Fire Frog on the Papa Potion. Ash is coming up as well. Massive dodge there on the Ashar, or the Cassar. But look at this barrel. Look at this. All Windfall Panda on the backside actually gets a massive cast onto the Gragas, onto the Ari. That's going to be a kill over. Rebel Phoenix trying to fight their way out of this one. 3v2 in their own jungle. Ooh, Say Why Not is coming back over. He does not have the flash. He does have the exhaust. That's going to be popped onto the Gangplank. That's going to be a shutdown over to Rebel Phoenix. And now, meanwhile, Big Turk and Windfall Panda are fighting on this top side. Both these tanks not wanting to stick around. Fight does end, and we are even in kills. Pretty much even in gold.
Pretty much even in gold. The fight started with Say Why Not, and it basically ended with Say Why Not in the game. And picking up some more kills for themselves, but also what's really important is the Ezreals that entire time just stayed bot, kept scooping up gold and farm. And so yeah, while Ash was able to pick up some kills, Ezreal does have a lot of gold in his back pocket, so will be something to look out for. Again, if you're getting to what I was going to say before the fight started was getting 6 grubs is nice, but unless you're taking turrets and taking these plates, grubs don't really mean that much. I mean, yes, in end a game.
Frog, the W is going to hit, and that's a massive hook by Say Why Not. That's going to be the passive Frog trying to give this kill over to the Ash. And Rebel Phoenix is able to pick that up. Now up to 3-1. Dragon is on the table, and I think Anima is just going to look to pressure this while the mid laner is down. The barrage not quite up for Gangplank, so it does look like this is just going to go over. This Gangplank is going to be really scary, though. Already has the Essence Reaver, has a BF Sword, and Crit Cloak for good measure. Bear's going to be pretty strong, just printing that gold in the top lane.
Yeah, Bear's gonna be a huge problem because again, Gragas is a great lane neutralizer, but he isn't great at just kind of rolling these kind of big scaling comps because he needs to hit so many abilities in succession to kind of get people in lethal. And Gangplank plays at such a good distance away from Gragas, it's really hard for Gragas to kill barrels. So Gangplank is always able to keep Gragas at this arm's length. And I mean, if you're just getting pelted by Gragas use over and over and over again, yes, it can be annoying, but that's kind of what Gangplank wants. We have a fight down here in the bot lane.
Yeah, we have a fight. Rebel Phoenix trying to get that passive off, and that's actually going to be a massive hook in there. Bullet having to flash away, but the barrage is coming in over the top. Big Turk and Bullet are super low. Engineer flat coming in with the TP. Ooh, Big Turk going to get flashed on, and the kill does go over the Nautilus. Kiale running for the hills. Bullet able to get this one out, and Engineer might actually get collapsed here on the other side, but Bullet trying to walk up as well. The hook coming in, and that's a massive hook over, and Say What Not is able to survive. Papa Potion coming in, but he is 1v2 over here. He needs to back this one up, or he is just going to pop immediately. Engineer coming over, the flash, or the R being outplayed. Papa Potion going down, and I don't know if they have the tools to continue this. It is 2v3. A lot of low health bars, though, so if they can get a good look here, Frog looking for this charm onto the Nautilus. Flash in, the charm does hit, does not allow the Nautilus
charm,
hit, and that is another kill over to Frog. Got that malignance.
Yes, super bloody game right now, and this is kind of where a lot of the problems with Anima's gaming into High Alert's comp starts to come into effect. They're so mobile, and you have to kind of feel like you have to put in so much work just to kill one person that when someone else shows up to clean up the fight, it almost feels like so impossible because we're out of tools, we're out of resources, and so yeah, it was an even fight, but again, like, I feel like if in this even game state, High Alert is happy scooping up these kills, scooping up this gold, because I mean, you look around the map, Gangplank has hit 2 items. He's nearing that critical mass apex, like one-shot, like comical one-shot levels.
A lot of scaling going on the top side. We do see Windfall Panda picking up that Rod of Ages, gonna look to do some massive damage. Bear actually invading in on Papa Potion, and look at that damage just from the one, passive auto. Rift Herald on the table, both junglers on the side of the map, but I don't know if Papa Potion is looking for us right now. We do see 3 members of High Alert in this bot lane, so there is a brief window here where they could look to try and force this.
They could look to try and force something bot. They could also look to try and force something Herald on the opposite side for Anima Gaming. They are here first, so it is a little bit hard for Gangplank to set this up. Ari is going to have to start walking now. She is just going to blow the TP.
Down to 4,000 HP here. It looks like this might be a flip. Big Turk going for the ult, and they are going to be able to knock out Graves with the Keeper's Verdict. Meanwhile, the Cannon Barrage doing so much damage on a Windfall Panda, and that's going to be a shutdown over to Gangplank. Going to continue to get stronger there. And Rift Herald gets picked up by Big Turk and High Alert.
Yeah, the Hunk is able to kind of walk in with some of the carries and kind of secure that fight, but it was Bear and his huge damage and that barrage that basically completely negates the fight. And so right now, if you're High Alert, again, you are feeling really confident about this game because yes, the gold is even. Yes, these people have some kills. Let's actually say Why Not is looking for more.
Massive double ult there from the Nautilus. Low health bars. Their flash is burnt on Kiale. So you'll take that, but these guys are still fighting, and that's gonna be the ult pop there by the Zillion. Does Say Why Not look to go for the hook? No, actually, massive cannon barrage or true shot barrage. Ooh, Bullet looking to get so aggressive. The hook does miss from Say Why Not, but the kill goes over to Rebel Phoenix in the end, and we're now back to the mid lane. Doesn't look like they're fighting anymore bot lane. I did not think that was gonna be a 1-for-0 there, but look at Big Turk. He is running quick. He's got the Zillion speed up. Oh, massive hook in there from Say Why Not. Rebel Phoenix trying to kite this one out. The flash coming through, and that's gonna be 2 kills. I would have to assume over to Big Turk. Papa Potion is on the run. Engineer coming in from the top side. They're trying.
No mana. Oh, just has enough.
Kiale no mana. Sethi low health bars. The ground coming through. Oh, the R going to do a lot of damage. It does get the kill, but it doesn't get the stun. Frog now here actually off as well. Charm not gonna quite land. These guys are just playing so aggressive. Frog looking to try and go in with the R's, and that's gonna be a flash force out from Engineer. But now Frog is actually on the wrong side of the map. He is really low. Low health bars from all members here. Now we're back to the top side. We're fighting the explosive cast into the tower. Massive flash out from Bear. The flash away, and that's gonna be a kill over to Bear. And look at these health bars in the bot lane. What is going on?
Man, why can't I catch series like this all the time? There's so much happening. So first off, The mobility of Ari kind of saves her at the last second, but at the start of that fight, Bullet, if he didn't split his focus, he like Q'd one person and auto-attacked the next person. If he had autoed that one person, he would have gotten the kill and maybe got even out alive. I think he would have traded 1-for-1 though. But just kind of the Avengers kind of pulling up for both teams in this fight has made this so exciting. The TP is going to come in here for Gragas for this dragon.
This is just a game of inches. These guys are so low after every single fight, and a play that goes, 2 for 2 could very easily go, 4 for 1. We do see Dragon getting picked up by Anima Gaming, but meanwhile, that is going to be the mid lane tower and the top wave getting shoved in. So the gold actually right now looking pretty good for High Alert, up about 4,000. Some of that is with that Gangplank passive.
All of the Gangplank, I'm not gonna lie. I just clicked X. It's all in the Gangplank. It says crystal hair.
But what a bomb from Kiale, gets a 3-man stun, and that allows Bullet to survive.
Yet Kiale hits a massive stun there. But it's so, because again, all this gold is on the Gangplank. He is the hyper carrier. Now he's at 3 items at 18 minutes.
From Kiale. Say why not, taking under the turret, but Big Turk is actually kind of split here on the decision. Say why not is cut off from the rest of the team. The turret does go down, but Nautilus is getting really low. Good blast going, able to get out of here, and we're going to see another 4v4 here. Frog coming down, Windfall Panda coming down. Ult comes in, Cannon Barrage from Bear, and that's going to be a massive knockup by Windfall Panda. Look at that damage onto the Ahri, but they are still fighting. Cass can actually knock him in towards the team, and this is a massive 4v4. Nala super low, Ash super low, Big Turk getting low there, and look at that flash in from Windfall Panda. That's going to be the Zillionaire pops. Big Turk goes down, shut down over to the Ash. Look at these health bars. 4v3, these battle lines, I don't think there's a way to continue this engagement, but meanwhile, Engineer is able to hold off that Gangplank in the top side. You gotta consider that a win for Anima Gaming.
It is a win, and so you are able to pick up that shutdown onto the Ash, but you kind of see where a lot of the problems begin to arise as Bear and Engineer kind of just stops his backs and lets him know that he sees him as the siege is going to come out here, but I don't know if I love this siege here because it is. Oh, Papa Potion is so low!
And that is a kill over to Frog. These guys maybe overstayed their welcome. The rest of these guys going to make their way back towards their base. Yeah, you were calling it though. The gold lead is on Bear, so when there's a fight that doesn't involve Bear, it's kind of goes either direction. That fight, I think, overall went in the favor of Anima Gaming, but then of course that kill in return, you certainly like that if you are High Alert. Looking at the objectives, Baron's on the table. I don't think our team really has the ability to go for that, but we have seen High Alert go for some very cheesy Gangplank Baron takes.
Yeah, you can. Again, Gangplank is so fed at this point that if Gangplank, let's say Gangplank, Bullet, and Seth, the Hunk, excuse me, I almost called him the wrong name. My apologies. That if they just 3-man the Baron, I'm sure they could do it. I mean, Gangplank's nearing 4 items, man. Yeah, he's pretty close to 4 items at this point.
Got a bit of a donation there as well with the Rift Herald, able to pick up that turret gold. Yeah, Gangplank, I think High Alert just needs to follow where their top laner calls. That's kind of where you need to go. The fights are won, I think, if you have Bear in tow, and if you don't, that's where it's gets to be looking pretty dicey. You can go the way of Anima. We see some vision contesting here around the Baron. A lot of blue wards. They're worried about the potential High Alert Baron, but the only ward on the Baron itself is in favor of High Alert.
Yeah, it is in favor of High Alert. But again, where will this next fight kind of be? It has to be somewhere. You do have objectives coming up very soon. I know Baron is up, but Dragon
coming in on the flank. Going to knock say why not into the base. Windfall Panda going to miss the E, but that's a lot of damage on the Big Turk. And look at this Cannon Barrage coming in. True Shot Barrage over the top. The barrages are crazy. Papa Potion trying to kill off Frog. He is super low. Kill goes over to Rebel Phoenix, and this is actually not looking too bad. 1-for-1 so far in the play. Overall, it looks like Nautilus and Papa Potion gonna walk this one out. Now Bullet though, he's not walking this one out. Massive R there. Zillionaire comes through, and Rebel Phoenix is so low. They're trying to kill, but Big Turk goes down. TP in from the Cassiopeia, and they're able to pick up Bullet. TP coming in from Bear, but he is going to be by himself. But the Cassar does not get the stun, and that's so much damage on the Papa Potion. He goes down immediately, and they have got to kill this Bear. Massive flash away from the Nautilus hook, and he is just going to try and bombard them with these barrels. That looked so risky there for Bear, but it just did not matter.
Yeah, Bear completely control-alt-deleted Papa Potion, as a TP is going to come out here from Windfall Panda, matched by Frog. And so, yeah, that's the game plan you are now dealing with. This is the raid boss, right? He is... Well, I don't know if he can get 4 items on this back. I don't know if he has Futures Market, but this is the raid boss. This is what you have to deal with. And again, he has no flash. He uses orange early, and they saw it. They said, we can go kill him, but the Zillion is just so hard to fight into because of the bombs and the speed ups and the slowdowns. He's just this massive nuisance zone for this team.
Not to mention that the Zillion themselves with this build is super tanky with that Warmogs, with these health on Papa Motion actually just goes in and steals it. But look at the charm, that's gonna be knocked up into the wall by Big Turk, and that's gonna be a kill over to Bullet. And that's might be a Baron angle. You got 38 seconds on this jungler. They get the dragon, puts them on soul point, but it looks like High Alert just running right over to the Baron.
Yeah, High Alert can just go straight to Baron because it's so hard for the side of Anima to walk into the pit, because you have to walk into Gangplank with damn near 4 items and his level 13 barrels. So good luck trying to counter set up, or good luck trying to approach this neutral objective with the Scourge of Piltover, Bilgewater. I almost got my lore wrong.
Start this Frog going to land the charm onto Windfall Panda. They're trying to just deny them the ability to do this Baron while Papa Potion is running back on the map. The damage is coming through from Windfall and Rebel Phoenix, down to about 8,000 on the Baron. Charm not going to quite connect. We see Bear on the backside, so that's actually a lot of damage not being put onto the Baron, and it looks like Anima Gaming did win this battle, going to deny Baron from High Alert.
Yeah, I don't know if I love Bear's positioning throughout that fight. I feel like if Bear is just a lot more forward about where he is, and like, you know I have barrels behind me, what are you gonna do about it? I feel like they can, as 4, just kind of burn the Baron there, but elect to do the safe play and just back up.
Flash in there from Windfall Panda, gonna knock Bullet in, and that is a dead Ezreal immediately traded for the Gragas, and Rebel Phoenix is actually stuck on the wrong side of the rift. Kiali trying to zone them, but look at this damage. The Kassar not going to be able to get the stun on that anybody, and look at that charm, not going to land. 4v3, Frog is going in, and look at that flash in. Say why not getting super low. Papa Potion getting low. Kill goes over to Nautilus. Rebel Phoenix is able to walk this one out. They do hit the R. No, they do not. Kill over to Papa Potion by Frog, and that does look like it might be a bear. Frog is going insane here. He wants it so badly. Not going to get it, but I think they're going to get the reward here with the Baron.
They will just get the Baron, and I don't hate the idea from Windfall, but not when there's 5 people in a straight-up 5v5 inner turret tower dive. I don't know if I love that idea. And this will just be the Baron going over to High Alert, and now this gameplay on the side lane is going to be even harder to handle for the side of Anima.
Yeah, I like the look there from Windfall Panda. Go for the flash cask. You know, they're able to pick up an immediate kill, but I feel like that play has to be made on Bear if you're looking for it for anybody, because Bear is High Alert at this point. With the gold advantages, we can tab over real quick. I mean, look how much more gold there is on that Gangplank than anybody else, and we see Nautilus pinging it out. They recognize how strong this Gangplank is. That has to be priority number 1, 2, and 3 for Anima in any team fight going forward.
Yeah, and even if you have to overload a side lane to kill him, you have to kill him at some point. You have to slow him down. You cannot just let him pick and choose how and where and when he wants to fight, because if he's just able to do that, well, then you start to deal with the problem of like, well, how do we kill this Gangplank? Because Ash has to go into Gangplank, Gragas has to go into Gangplank, Graves basically have to go into Gangplank. Everyone has to go into this Gangplank, who is level 16, 4 items, basically at 100% crit. So one-shots are going to start pretty soon.
Yeah, this a lot of damage on the table. Good charm there does hit from Frog. Not going to be able to kill, but that is a very low cast. Frog's going to have to give up this turret, or you're at risk of dying. Gold going to go into the pockets of Frog. We might see objective pounding get popped here soon. Up about 6,000. Drag coming up in a minute 25. It would be sold for Anima Gaming, but in this spot, do you think that they're in a spot where they can contest it, or do you think it just makes more sense to kind of look to get advantages elsewhere and just give it up since it's, you know, not their soul?
I don't think they're in a spot to deal with it, but I also don't think that they care. I think that what we've seen from Anima Gaming is they will pull the trigger whenever and however they can, and so they might just try and, you know, pull the trigger on here. Now, what I would like to see here is we're at 27 minutes of the game, and we still have 2 refill pots for the side of Anima, and I would like those to be gone for some maybe some more control wards. You know, try and deny space where this Gangplank can walk in, especially for the soul
Pop
fight.
Potion gets stunned into the wall by Big Turk. Just gonna get popped on the spot. Gonna be down for the start of this dragon, so I think Big Turk and Frog just made the decision for Anima.
Yeah, make the decision pretty easy for themselves. Just gonna, alright, well, we can't really do this dragon anymore, so we'll just go over to the side of High Alert and say that's a disastrous overstay. So say why not.
Big Turk and Kiali gonna hit the stun brigade onto say why not. They are a tanky guy with the aftershock, but can they survive long enough? Health bar's getting low there. Good damage coming through from Rebel Phoenix and then Ganir. Gonna be able to save their support, but I don't think it'll change the outcome here with the Baron, or with the Dragon rather.
Won't change the outcome, and this is a classic case of fool me once, shame on me. Well, no, I don't want to pull a George Bush here. Basically, they got fooled twice on the same ward, and yeah, so kind of at some point you kind of have to learn, like, hey, they could be hiding around any wall. Right now, as Gangplank, if you look at the top of the jungle, he's hunting right now.
He is hunting. Really good point here in chat from Very Frightening, saying, I mean, can Papa Potion really sell their potion? It's actually when Volpana just getting burst out by this Gangplank, essentially a one-shot, and Papa Potion goes down. Rebel Phoenix trying to do as much damage as they can. Good knock up there from Say Why Not, but the Cassar, they're able to walk this out. Heal comes through, and Bear's actually gonna flash in, but he might have bit up more than he can chew, and that is a massive art there from Zillion. Going to be able to keep Bear alive. Say Why Not trying to do the knock up here, and he's actually, oh, Big Turkey able to knock Rebel Phoenix against the wall, and he's gonna be able to survive, and that's gonna be a full ace for High Alert, and this might just be game number 1.
It should be game number 1, although they don't have the Baron buff. I don't believe, yeah, no Baron left on them. And the Gangplank from Bear just goes absolutely bonkers. Remember, I said it, he was hunting, he was looking for the kill. His Frog's actually going to TP away. I don't know if I agree with this, because I feel like you could just end regardless, but we'll just opt for, you know, maybe a safer play instead.
Inhib does go down. Objective bounties now on the map. They do have, you know, Gragas and Graves were coming up, as well as the Nautilus, so perhaps they just wanted to get that shove on the top side so that they can then relocate, have Bear come over, and try, you know, get this this turret down as well. Bear taking a good bit of damage. Charm goes in onto Windfall Panda, and that's just going to be a popped Gragas. Does the bomb kill? No, it does not. But he's gonna have to run back to his Nexus. Meanwhile, the R actually coming through from Bear, trying to fish for it. Not quite gonna hit. Bear hiding in this brush, waiting for this Graves, this Ash to walk up. So much damage onto Nautilus, and the hook doesn't quite hit. Baron not up for another minute, so I do expect that we see some resets here. High Alert probably want to spend their gold and then look to maybe get this Baron, end the game. Things are looking good for him.
Things are looking good. Things are looking up for the side of High Alert. But if you're Anima, again, there is a way to get back in. You do have great turret taking ability. You do have that Ash. You do have a Graves, and you do have a Gragas. So if they're able to take a fight, you know, if High Alert maybe oversteps in a certain spot, then, you know, maybe that's a great chance for them to maybe claw their way back in the game and maybe steal one from High Alert.
Yeah, it's such a hard look. I mean, this Gangplank essentially full build at this point. We do see the Ghostblade being popped out. Bullet going to have to flash over the wall. No Bear. Bear is bot side, so if you're looking this, you know, maybe the angle, but he does have that teleport. You know that he's just watching around the map. Hopefully not pulling a Blippo from LCS Finals. And Bullet's actually getting shredded here. Ult does get popped up by Kiale. And look at Big Turk trying to hit a massive Keeper's Verdict. And they are all stuck in this Cannon Barrage. Kill does go over on the Ezreal. And Papa Potion gets super low, going towards the tower. Big Turk looking to go in. Actually stuns him against the wall. And Cassiopeia does hit the R, but it does not matter. It does not save the jungler. And Bear's looking to TP on the left side. This is going to be havoc for Anima Gaming. They are trapped against the Bear. Ooh, massive flash, and they have to go all in on Bear here, right now. There's no Zillion on this. He's turned over to the Ash. But meanwhile, look at all this damage coming through from Big Turk, and that's going to be 2 kills over. These guys are so low. Zigali has to flash away. Big Turk trying to pump and by Rebel Phoenix. And they're getting so low. And that is a one fight for Anima Gaming 2v2. And they're going to look to push.
They can maybe look to push, although it is a little bit hard. The Hunk can reset, so I think you might just take all that gold and take it into the bank. Ash just collected so much gold that she's sitting on 3,000 gold, by the way. And so, yeah, I like the idea from Bear. Go for the throat, go for the win. But Rebel Phoenix showcasing their stuff on the Ash. And yeah, they're now at 4 items. Has the Infinity Edge, Trinity Force. Like, they are so disgustingly strong. They still have the Ghost for this upcoming fight. It's important to take into account who has subs and who doesn't. You do have the Flash on the Katsu. You do not have Flash on the Ash. So that might be something that High Alert may look to punish.
Yeah, good call out from Arkham Crisis in chat. Rebel Phoenix has been playing so well this game, despite kind of how the gold is shaking out right now. I think they have been insane on this Ash. They are doing such a good job of keeping out of the fights and just kind of ratting out the fights, for lack of a better term. They're pumping the damage on this Ash. They're getting those Qs off, and we have Soul coming up in 10 seconds. Barrel's not going to quite connect. Mid lane, Prio is in favor of Anima, so they're going to look to rotate over to this Dragon, but Baron is also up at the same time. High Alert, if they don't feel like they can get in, they could just go over and try and get that Baron to end the game. It does look like they are going to try and walk in here. That is a massive cannon barrage. Dragon gets super low, and that is going to be an eject on a claim, and Poppy R does not hit very, and that's going to be a big R there from Rebel Phoenix. Hits onto the gameplay. That's going to be a shot. Look at all these low health bars on the side of Anima. Papa Post trying to go into as much damage as they can, but that's going to be 1 for 2 in favor of High Alert, and they're just going to go over to the Baron. Soul is picked up, though, by Anima.
Someone in chat, can I call it a chat curse? Because you have the cast curse, the chat curse. I hate to call this person out, but someone in chat is talking about so fucking insane positioning, and then Ash is frontlining into Gangplank. Like, it's...
Yeah, you're trying so hard to, just get that damage off. Baron is picked up there by High Alert. That maybe that's our bad. We gassed them up. The gods that know everything set up Rebel Phoenix to get hit on that front line. Didn't quite see what they got CC'd by, but you have to imagine it was probably some combination of Frog and Big Turk. True Shot Barrage going to just kill this wave mid, looking to pressure. Looks like they're going to go for like a bit of a 1-3-1 approach, I'd have to assume. Looks like Zillion maybe just going to hover Bear for the moment. Zillion sitting on 3 items, has that mandate, has the battle song. It's a pretty tanky Zillion.
Yeah, he is pretty tanky, and looking across the map, again, you do have a tanky Zillion. Of course, Cassio's about to hit a huge power spike in that.
On that ward there, he has got to get out of there. Good glass cone. He can thank the map that was up at that moment, or this might have just been game number 1 sealed. Are gonna come through here, does get
the Ghost is out for Papa Potion.
Yeah, I think they were maybe hoping that there was a look there, but just maybe not the right angle. It is a Ghost down, not the end of the world, but it does slow down their push a little bit as we see Ari pushing on this bot side, trying to get these minions in. Meanwhile, we do have Bear and Kiali continuing this push up on the top side. This is 3v2 here, and Ash does pop the R. Massive R.
Oh, misses.
Oh, that is so much damage. Look at the shield wall going down. Pop Potion and Ash just getting popped on the spot. Big Turk gonna knock him into the cannon barrage. That is 3 kills over to High Alert. All that's left is Grax and Cassiopeia. They burned it all to kill Bear, and they did not succeed.
Yeah, I like the idea, but once that hook misses, and if you want to blow the depth charge, that's fine, but you can't overcommit without clearing barrels first. Because even though Gangplank was so far away from them, the barrels were still up, so the barrels just kind of one-shot them, and this might be game.
Yeah, they're gonna try and end here. Bear gonna do so much damage on these towers. That is the tier 3 down. Frog does pop the ult there, flashing in, not gonna be able to hit the charm, but that is an inhib down. They have mid inhib up as well. They could look to rotate over. Bear trying to heal, trying to get these oranges off. They are pretty low, so maybe someone else needs to come up in front line, but the Frog actually going to stop soon. That's a massive play there, and oh, look at that damage done from the Cassiopeia. Massive Kiale R. Time and time again, this guy is saving his team, but Frog actually getting super low there, and that's going to be an R hit up onto the Ari, and Cass does go down as well. Bear has no R. He is down. Is this the look for Anima? Flash in. Cass goes in. The ball is hit with the depth charge. He's going to flash away, but I don't know if he can get away in time, but that's a massive play.
There's no challenge.
There's no Gallagher. They're running this down. Could they win this comeback? Gallagher flash over. It does not matter. He gets killed, and they're gonna try and just force us down the mid lane. Winfall Panda trying to get the wave. They are 5v1. No, next towers. This could be the comeback for Anima Gaming.
They have to end this game. They have to end it with this wave. If they do not, High Alert is going to win this game. And this might just be one of the greatest miracle kind of team fight base holds I think I've ever seen. I haven't been around here for a long, but they have to finish it off. Papa Potion and Rebel Phoenix. The TP's coming out to save the grub.
They have to win this game right here, right now. That is the first tower down. Inhib
There's
down
15.
Well.
From 7-10.
Game plank up in 12 seconds. There are TP angles in that top side. They have to end this game right now if they want to win this. They are forcing it all. They're doing everything they can. Keeper's Rick does knock away the Gragas, but that is not the guy doing damage to the towers. Sethi going in. Big Turk. They are going to be able to pop the cannon barrage. This tower's going so low. Look at the Graves on the backside. Bear has to try and hold this front line if they can. Engineer going in. Massive Ari. Going over the top. These guys are getting so low. Ari gets the kill onto Cassiopeia. No, it's again super low. Double kill over to High Alert Frog. And that's going to be another kill. Bullet able to pick up this one. And Rebel Phoenix goes down. That is Ari picking up the kill. Triple kill over to the High Alert Frog. Papa Potion is the last man left alive for a gang for Anima Gaming, but it does not matter. That's going to be a kill over. And that should be game number 1, won by High Alert.
Oh my god. On the doorstep of defeat, High Alert claws snatches victory out from Anima Gaming. I think we're gonna have a banger series on our hands.
I thought that was it. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I thought Anima had the tools. I thought that they just won game number 1 despite how strong this this gangplank is. I'm gonna quickly switch over to the screen so you see just how much damage this guy did. 60,000 damage on the gangplank. Frog played the hell out of that last fight, picked up the triple kill, able to hold at the last line. They lost their Nexus towers. Their Nexus was exposed, and it was just enough from High Alert to pick up the win.
It was just enough, and I feel like in those kind of moments, excuse me, as I turn around for a second, in those kind of moments, everyone has to have a clear focus. It really feels like Animal was really split in that last second, and that's sometimes all it takes. If Rebel Phoenix had hit the turret maybe just a little bit longer instead of going to the Poppy and trying to kill her, I think maybe we're looking at a different result for game 1.
Yeah, that was the fact that they almost won despite it being so close there. Absolutely insane. Looks like we're keeping same sides here, so Anima Gaming sticking with the blue side. I appreciate that as the person that has to do all the overlays and stuff. I don't have a spectator link, so real quick, what do you think the move is here from Anima?
Say I'm not in the lobby, so like
let me I'll message them and
yeah. Here, I can message Bear as well.
Alright, it does look like we have
Perfect.
High Alert dropping, so you're able to get in here. Yeah, what do you think the move is for Anima Gaming here? What do you think they need to ban the gangplank, or is there something else?
I think you'd have to ban the gangplank. I think that the way that Windfall likes to play the lanes and play the game, I feel like you cannot let Bear just get something where he's just allowed to sit there and scale and get all these damage on it, because it ended up being such a big problem because they had to focus so much on it. However, the other thing I would like them to see here is maybe, I understand why you want the Cassium, but I also feel like if you can maybe put priority on something like that Talia, like hell, even if maybe something like that Asol or Hoyer open, maybe scoop that up for yourself, because I feel like if you just had a little bit more damage with the way Rebel Phoenix was piloting this Ashe, I feel like a lot of those like super tight, close fights could maybe swing a little bit more in the favor of Anima.
Yeah, that was... Yo, man, as they're getting the draft links now, I am just, in shock from how much of a banger that game was. I knew that Anima could, take it to anybody in this group. They did it to us. They were very competitive. They've played a lot of the teams in Group A quite competitively, and they're looking to play spoiler here against High Alert. That ending was insane. Chat's calling it out. We have a banger on our hands, as we do appear to have the draft link, so I am going to go ahead and pull that up, and I will actually pay out the results for game number 1, unless they are. Never mind. We are going to get the draft up first, and then I will pay out. So,
Yeah,
chat,
looks
start.
like yeah, I think the teams might be ready for the draft here. As I would expect the Gangplank to be gone. Um, as hold on, we do see. I think someone just said wait.
Bear
Oh,
is a known liar, a harlatan, saying that
ah.
they're ready, and then immediately saying that they're not ready. So it does give
So
me time to pay out the
we've been
predictions.
hoodwinked. We've been hoodwinked. Some would say bamboozled. Possibly. Sorry, I'm grabbing
Hoodwinked?
a drink. I'm grabbing a drink, so if I sound quiet, I'm away from my mic. But we were hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, potentially run amok. I forget what is in that rant. It was an all-time rant though.
Yeah, it is an all-time rant from Stephen A. Smith, who, by the way, just has on his, I think it's his own personal podcast, has some of the best content currently on the market right now, with
Do you
arguments
think we
such
should
as
at him? Do you
we
think
should
we
add
should
him.
at him?
Yeah, have you ever heard of the low budget LCS? We're actually casting right now.
Well,
It was
no, like whenever
oh
like a series is about to play, we just ask him like, "Hey, who's gonna win the series?"
oh we were going totally different directions. I was thinking we get him on cast and have him tell us who would win in a fight between Stuart Little and Ratatouille. We
Oh,
do have a
true.
draft.
That was real, by the way. As there goes the gangplank in the draft as we are drafting away, literally instantly banned. As the Iron is also going to go, so we might actually get to see the Shaco. Not even kidding. Well, Shaco's up. Chat, this is your time. Chat, this is your time. Shaco might be picked.
I do think that one other thing that Anima needs to keep in mind here is, yes, Bear was the flashy player in that game 1. He was the superstar, but Kiale on this Zillion, time and time again, kept, whether it was Bullet or whether it was Bear, kept them alive, popped the R at just the right time, and Zillion is such an annoying champ to play against in that capacity that they need to have like an answer for the Zillion, because they will pick it again for High Alert, as we do see the Ashe that we saw Rebel Phoenix play super well game number 1.
Yeah, so we could see that Ash not come out. Again, it is open right now in Zeri and Zeri Shaco. So I think personally Bullet's best champion from what I've seen of him play, as it actually is going to be his most played champion in ranked, the Caitlyn potentially for High Alert, and there it is. So potentially matching Lane Bully with Lane Bully here for the side of High Alert.
Caitlyn gets picked up for Bullet. We've seen this several times this season. They have played it with a Zillion, so Kiale could certainly look to go back on it. They could look to pick a jungler for Big Turk, still our hunk. Hopefully chat's not mad that, we have to call him both the hunk and Big Turk. It's a whole like legal thing with the Coriander
the
company.
bylaws. It's the bylaws.
It's the bylaws, and it is going to be the Shaco. This is a treat. Kiale Shaco support. If you don't know the legend of Kiale Shaco support, I'm not even going to spoil it for you. Just
Okay, so Galaxy Brain thing. They could also pick Oriana here because I was telling them all about the Shaco Oriana combo. This is totally something that they could do, as it will be the Milio locked in for Anima. So maybe looking at, a little bit more scaling, a little to keep Ash safe. So they must be watching. We'll pick up the Talia here for the side of Anima. Again, something that's Casio-like, but is, I think, just a lot better than the Casio in the meta.
yeah, Engineer, I do believe, is quite a Talia player. I think actually maybe both of our games played Talia, or maybe it was for sure played at least one of the two.
We played the game one.
Mm-hmm.
So that game one, the Tristana game.
Yep. So that is going to be the pickup, and we are going to see the Ari. So no jungle pickup in the first 3. This is my kind of game, giving blue side probably the jungle counter pick, as we're going to see the Gragas taken away. Respect being paid to a Windfall in that top side. Yone again going to get banned out, and we'll see if they look to another ban towards Bear, maybe like a set or something like that, because I do think you need frontline for High Alert right now. And you also need frontline for Anima Gaming, so should be interesting here. Chat is debating the Shaco support.
I definitely think the set here is going to be a lot better for the Anima Gaming for this ban, as the Ornn ban is going to go away from high alert, so they do recognize, hey, Anima does need frontline. Let's just take away the premier tank. As note, will be the Udyr taken away, so we'll be gone. As the Gwen actually going to be taken away from Anima. So interesting, you do leave the set open for the side of high alert. And listen, Ashe doesn't like people being in her face. Ashe does not like her frontline being dumped on her face. So we'll have to be interesting to see if Hyler picks it. This will be their jungle pick. You still could see the Poppy. It's not awful this game, as the Vi actually instead, I like this a lot more. Lets you play downhill a lot more on the Ashe. Of course, Talia literally can't stop Vi ulti. And plus, it blows up some of the rocks, as the Ornn is going to be picked for Anima. So this should indicate, or the Ornn could be picked. Sorry, don't want to believe in hovers.
Should have learned from last game.
Should have learned from last game, as the Ornn could be picked here. And if it is, that means that Hylo will probably be answering with a set.
Yep, I would have to expect that if I know anything about Bear. If he's going to play frontline, it's going to be the set. And that is... I mean, Ornn can certainly do fine in that matchup, but it's really, once it comes down to those late game team fights, is his W good enough to stop the set R? And it's going to be a Volibear jungle on B5, currently hovered. Another frontline option. You do have some very squishy members, mid through support, and it does give you some solid, point and click CC to maybe pair with this Ashe and Talia.
Yeah, but I don't know if I love it though, because I feel like, oh, wait a minute, this would be crazy from Bear actually if we get the Yasuo. Wait a minute. Yeah, there it is. 9-head. Saw the set come from a mile away. So, well, going back to the Volibear, I'm not sure I love the Volibear here in this draft, because I feel like Volibear, I feel like what's gonna happen sometimes in this game is Volibear's gonna ult in onto the Caitlyn, and then Set and Vi and Ahri and Chico are just going to literally run at the backline of Anima, and I think that is just enough damage to probably win the fight for high alert. But if we saw anything from last game, these teams will oftentimes just throw themselves at each other, so should be exciting in for an exciting game too.
We should be in for an exciting game here while we are waiting for game number 2 to get started. Just going to quickly switch over our overlay so we don't get yelled at once the game starts. Switch us back over to the Pro Draft Pick ban. And yeah, I think Vi, Ahri, a classic mid lane jungle pairing. High alert saying they're ready. I think someone from Anima Gaming ran to the restroom real quick, so we may be another minute or two. But yeah, I mean, a lot of tools on the side of High Alert, and there are some tools for sure. Volibear, Ornn on the side of Anima Gaming, but they also have this disengage style with the Melia, with Talia. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that kind of blend works out for Anima Gaming, as this is a series point for him.
Yep, this is series point for High Alert to keep this kind of miracle run going. Where can Anima Gaming force us to a game 3? Play spoilers here. I definitely think they do have the kind of, the comp to do it. Again, I don't necessarily love certain assets of it, but if they can play these fights slow, force High Alert off their spots, don't let them kind of set up, then I definitely think the Ashe Melio combo, there is something to be said about an Ashe running you down with extra range and this added, this pocket of this kind of magic damage and healing and shielding.
Predictions are live for game number 2. We saw how close game number 1 was up till the bitter end. Certainly some schmeckles to be made here today. As we see Bear in chat, you've got a game to play. I need you to focus up. This is, as we mentioned coming in, High Alert needs to win every series to make it to playoffs, and even then it's still not totally up to their control, I don't believe. If we want to take a quick cursory look at how the playoffs are currently looking in Group A, It does look like Needlessly Large Rods are they're pretty much locked into the first spot. And Team Volatility Money Moves, heard those are some great guys over there. They're locked in. They're locked in some capacity. I don't think they're locked number 2 seed just yet, but I think if they win their series this week, they should be locked into that 2 slot. But then there's this kind of blend of Monkeys, Buttermilk, High Alert, Sensei Randalls, and Team Trash Pandas that are all kind of still vying for playoffs here. Or actually, no, I think Trash Pandas may have just been eliminated. So Sensei Randalls, High Alert, Buttermilk, and Monkeys kind of vying for these last 2 playoff spots. So every series kind of matters here down the stretch.
Yeah, it does matter down the stretch as, again, there's something to be said when you're playing really hot and you're playing a bunch of games in a row and you feel the pressure, right? Like, there is something to be said about, playing on that razor's edge of perfection. I definitely think High Alert, they definitely do have, the players to do it. I know Bullet was a mid-season acquisition. I know Sethi wasn't their original jungler. And those players have been performing... sorry, not Sethi. Excuse me. My apologies. Big Turk, a.k.a. the Hunk. They've been playing extremely well. But I think a lot of people's eyes are going to be focused on Kiale on the Clown.
Yeah, this... we'll talk about exactly what we expect to come out. Kind of once we get towards the end of that spectator delay on the Shaco support. I think that it's really important to point out, though, if we look at the bets, as there's still a couple of minutes, do you see who is the highest bettor for Anima Gaming down there with 5,000 schmeckles?
I have no idea. I also don't. I have no idea to see who bet what.
So if you click the prediction and it's like right where it has like the thing at the bottom, it says 5,000 schmeckles bet by Frog Guy.
Frog Guy 777.
He's hedging his bets. Either he wins a series or he's gonna win some schmeckles here.
Listen,
I respect it.
Frog Guy probably has the pulse of Vegas. Like, he probably understands it. I mean, he probably would he probably bet NC State to make the Final Four.
Yeah. Speaking of betting, I do have to just put those of you who are I know there are some people out there that I talk sports betting with, and I have found a free money hack. In baseball, there is one team that is significantly worse than the rest of the teams in the league, Oakland Athletics. It is free money every game this season. I am betting against them. And I think over the course of this whole season, it's going to pay off dividends. I know I was getting made fun of for being a Nays fan in chat in the TV server earlier, but so far, they're looking pretty terrible. So I'm going to be looking forward to that all the way. And Frog is actually answering in chat. Always bet the enemy so you cannot be disappointed. Yeah. VCS Frog Guy. I love that comment from Jelly Special.
Listen.
Might be BMJ.
Frog Guy isn't careful. We might have to send him to Team Vitality. Yeah, give him the same... send him to the LEC. Like what happened with Bo.
This is true.
That was his punishment, by the way. I'm firm a believer that was his punishment. Was he didn't get suspended, he didn't get banned from the league. He's like, you have to go play at K Corp. That's your punishment.
How many schmeckles to buy the Oakland A's? I mean, the team's not worth anything at this point.
25.
Yeah, probably 25 schmeckles. I mean, it's probably more worth it for a Papoba waffle than it is the Oakland A's. Their stadium stinks. The team stinks. The fans are disgruntled, but they have really cool jerseys, and I think.
And you get to go to Vegas soon.
Probably gonna get to go to Vegas soon. So there are some perks.
I love that. Probably.
Not many perks, but
Would it just be the cherry on top of the Oakland A's misery? Is that for the ownership, the fans, you know what I mean? I feel for the fans, but for the ownership, that they have a shitty team and their fans hate them and whatnot, and they can't go to Vegas. They have to stay in Oakland.
Yeah, they're actually just held hostage by the city.
I would love that, by the way. As anti-owner as I am, I would love that.
Yeah. Him, the guy, probably saying it pretty well. I'd rather have a good high five from LeChance than own the Oakland A's.
Real.
I mean, the thing with the Lachance High Five is that is priceless. You know, Oakland A's, sure, they cost money. Like, that's great or whatever. They're probably not making any money. But a Lachance High Five, you can ride that forever. We're going to switch over here as the client should be pulling up any second here. Looking for a game to capture. I may have or pulled the trigger 2 seconds too early, but it's okay.
It is A-okay. As of course, what the only thing that could be worse than being an Oakland A's fan though is being an Aggies fan. If you're a fan of the Texas A&M Aggies, I'm sorry, but like, why would you do that to yourself? As enough Aggie trash talk. We have a game on our hands. No time to look at skins. No time to look at runes. We are off and running. Engineer, curiously opting for the Ghost on Thalia, also has the Electrocute, so looking for a little bit more lane domination in this game. And it's important to note, good thing Kiali likes to do on Shaco, level 1, sit out of vision, and then just Q, walk into your lane, backstab, auto with Hail of Blades. If the mid lane walks up, he does have the Ignite and the Exhaust, and look at him. He's set up right now. He's ready to do it.
We are once again having the same problem we had at the start of last game. I'm not sure what is going on. I am loading back into the game. But yeah, that is the Kiali special on the Shaco, is that early invade. We will try to get this working here as soon as possible to the viewers. Hopefully, we are going to workshop this, and hopefully, we don't miss too much. We may have to pause.
I'll pause the game right now. I'll get to a minute 30 and pause. I can do that. Listen, the production truck outside, like, it's a taco truck. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's where they give us food and whatnot. It's, you know, we don't have the top of the line production here, but what we do have is good vibes, coriander, and the friends we made along the way.
Chat saying they can hear the game but not be able to see. That's an interesting one. That is a new one. Yeah, plead the fifth, putting it well. So strong that the game can't take it.
Have you tried maybe just reloading the spectator thing?
Yes, that is what I have tried. Unfortunately not.
Okay, I have the game paused at 131. So whenever you get back, I'll be ready.
Let's take a look here. Perhaps may have to look to potentially stream your point of view. That maybe.
So if I stream it in here?
Yes, that may.
Okay, hold on.
We are
now the only problem is sometimes my Discord just completely breaks when I stream.
Oh, that's lovely. I will try one more time here to get us in here on the spectator client. Again, not sure what is going on. Everything was working totally well earlier. Thank you, Camp. That's a good suggestion. I did in fact. Oh wait, it looks like I'm getting in here. Hold our horses.
Oh, hold on.
Everybody.
What matters is can they see it? That's what matters.
I am seeing it on the Streamlabs. I'm going to.
Here we go, big.
All right, so it's not letting me go past the 3-minute mark, so I do have it paused at 3 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Then I will speed up to that point.
All right, let me know when you're at 3 minutes, and I will unpause.
Okay, 301, 302, 303, 304.
Sorry, pause at 305. 303, 304, 305, 6. We should be hopefully good.
Yeah, we're good.
Apologies there
okay.
To the chat. Not sure what happened there, but we do see that it's still 0-0, so it doesn't look like you missed out on too much action.
Engineer didn't blow flash either, so I guess the Shaco play did not work to how they hoped it to work.
Yeah,
I can imagine that. Yeah, I imagine the Shaco showed up and Engineer just was like, Shaco, and just walked away.
Good W there from Windfall Panda. Actually a pretty good trade, but you have to worry about that Haymaker, and all of a sudden, trade looking pretty good there for Bear. Gonna see the junglers interact here. As soon as we get in, we're into the action. Galley actually going with the Q. They're probably gonna look to pop both summoners, so that's gonna be the Ignite them. That's gonna be
the exhaust.
That is the exhaust. Ignite actually still on the table, and Bullet's actually stuck on the wrong side of the rip. And now, meanwhile, top side we see just scrapping. Go back away, and that's gonna be a good knock.
Oh,
massive
nice
flash
charm
right there from Papa Potion. Somebody flashes can pop 3 flashes on both sides. Well, yeah, 3 flashes on both sides, I guess in total. 4 actually on the side of Anima Gaming, as both top laners had to pop flash. And Engineer gonna knock Frog Guy in, and that's gonna be a kill over to Rebel Phoenix. 1-0 goes the count to Anima Gaming. What? As soon as we join in, and there's gotta just be more action.
Instantly jump into the action, and Frog just not respecting Engineer just kind of slinked his way, dodged the vision, although I don't think there's any vision, and just slinked his way into that brush with a nice kind of toss back on there to get the first blood to Rebel Phoenix, who, if you remember last game, absolutely could have popped off and won that game, but, you know, just wasn't meant to be for game 1.
Yeah, gets that early kill with the Melio. This is such a strong bot lane duo, but not in like your traditional sense, but just the range, the healing that the Melio provides, the ability to cleanse for this mobile 80 carries. Actually, this trade again, looking good for Windfall Panda. Of course, he did burn that TP, does have the Ruby Crystal in hand. Bear hasn't reset yet. We do see both junglers again on this top side of the map looking to contest these grubs. Who do you think prefer grubs in this this match?
I definitely think that the side that if you're high alert, you want this Caitlyn to get grubs, because if Caitlyn falls behind the early game, remember she relies so much on raw damage and crit chance that her mid game is actually not that strong. So you need her to kind of snowball to kind of level off that mid game dip in power. But also, if you're the side of Anima, you're not too shattered with grubs because they push that Windfall and your bot lane is able to generate. So I imagine both teams are going to be hard pushing for these grubs.
Yeah, it's interesting how Caitlyn works, where early game super strong, mid game kind of goes down the slide a little bit, and then late game just pops off. One of those interesting, kind of curves, I guess you could call it. As we do see Volibear doing the grubs, and it looks like it's just going to be traded by Big Turk for that first dragon.
Yes, Melio did roam up, but it is okay because Rebel Phoenix is able to just catch that bot wave, potentially even seen a dive down there, and that's another interesting thing because we haven't seen Shaco so much. There's a lot of cool things you can actually do with Shaco that aren't just like show up invisible in someone's lane and then one-shot them, right? But it's like you can dive people really well because you can either show up to a turret dive with your clone out so it can start tanking, or I believe it drops turret aggro when you go into when you pop your ulti, because you do become untargetable for like half a second. So dives can actually be pretty successful for the side of high alert. They just have to be able to coordinate it with Kiale, the Hunk, and whoever they're diving.
Ashe is going to catch Big Turk here on the spot side, so Windfall and Engineer can play pretty safe. We see the invade again come out from Papa Potion up on that top side, just going to take the blue buff and run for the hills. Early CS advantage in favor of this Volley. That is such a good early game champ at the moment. Very oppressive, especially if you're able to get that Sundered Sky nice and quickly. We do see Big Turk going to reset and head probably back out towards that top side.
Yeah, and right now Vi doesn't have a lot of options to farm, so the call should be, hey, Vi's probably headed into her top side because these camps are respawning. So just be careful bot lane about where Vi can be. You do have Volibear on that reset, still has 2 camps, but also has his red buff spawning. Excuse me, relatively soon. So could also look to play around that. But right now, just kind of have a little bit of a lull in action, maybe for the first time all series.
Yeah, this is a much slower early game than we saw last time out. I think there were probably 8 kills by this time. I think it was like 10 kills in the first 8 minutes or something crazy. And this game, we are seeing a more methodical approach. Maybe if you're high alert, you know, you kind of saw how the end of that game 1 went, and you're just a little bit reserved. And then maybe if you're Anima, it's just kind of like the way that mid-early game was going. We do see Rebel Phoenix actually hit that.
Oh, nice stun, but here's cleanse.
That is the cleanse getting popped there. Kiale, massive box there, but they do not care. They are going to go in. That is a ton of damage on Kiale. Kill goes over Rebel Phoenix, and meanwhile, look at this mid lane. Ari going after the Talia is going to pop the ghost and run towards the Volibear. Should be able to survive this. Frog going to have to walk this one off. Didn't pop the R, so ultimately, or actually they did pop the R. The thing up at the top was Lion's Meat. Good charm there from Frog. But ultimately, another kill onto this Ashe. Another assist over to Volibear.
Yet another assist over to the Volibear, and there's one of the downfalls of the Shaco is that if you can kind of lock him down, if you can kind of not play into his tricks, it's really hard for Shaco to actually kind of do anything to Volibear. They'll flash away actually just at the last second from Engineer. We actually saw a frame of that.
Heard the pop. So flash trade in the mid lane, Ari for Talia, and now we see Big Turk invading on this top side. So a couple of meanie heads in the jungle.
Yeah, a couple of mean people, as they're actually not done. They're full clearing Volibear's top side. As Volibear probably does know what's happening, so will just actually is going to walk in there. It is a little bit risky because Engineer does not have flash and is relatively low on mana.
Look at Kiale though, he's fishing. Well, I've seen him do this before. Undertone
he has 6.
Does not care. Does have the 6. We see.
Oh, they're looking for it. Vi's in the area too.
Vi's in the area. They aren't gonna be able to get it off though, as Talia is able to get the reset off. Grub's coming up here shortly. Have to imagine that's the next objective that everyone's gonna have their eyes on. We do see Shaco heading back towards the bot side, and yeah, just another little bit of a lull here.
That's so mean. That's so mean from Windfall, just building right in front of Bear's face.
It's just an intimidation move.
Yeah, it's a power move. As looks like Bear will walk down for these grubs. Vi is also in the area, but Shaco is bot side. The ultimate lane. Remember, no cleanse on here.
And look at this damage coming through. Gonna be able to walk this off. Gonna be able to kill the Shaco clone. Ultimately, gonna be ult for ult in pretty even trade, I would say. No summoners popped. Bullet just getting their flash up now, and Vi is looking in on Pop a Potion. Engineer, and that's going to be the Vi-Ari combo. You love to see this. Flea has no flash, getting super low, but Pop a Potion in the right spot at the right time, but it does not matter. Frog able to get the kill onto the Talia, and now Volibear trying to do what they can with the damage, and we're back to the bot side, and oh, look at these low health bars. There is no Shaco R, and that's going to be a kill over, and the heal comes through, and say why not going to have the body block this. Caitlyn R getting super low here. You know Bullet's looking for it, but he's not going to get it, and he's actually going to flash in. What a madman, but the shield coming through from Emilio, and the flash away from the Ashe, and Emilio just trying to pepper them with autos. I don't think they have the damage for this, and they might actually now just die in the end. And then we're back to the top side. The fight continues. Set R's the Volibear. Look at this massive haymaker onto the orb. Kill goes through. Flash over from Seth, and they're just gonna continue fighting here. Sethy going in. The shield coming through for the Volibear. That's gonna be a kill over to the Grubs. Orange trying to do as much damage as they can, but they are gonna have to run this one out now. Pop a potion, or Frog may get the kill, but now Engineer coming in with the Talia R. And now Kiale coming over the top. No summoners, doesn't care. They're trying and kill the Orange. No mana on a Frog. I think they are done. 4-2, 1.5k gold lead for Anima Gaming.
Oh, remember when we said, yeah, wow, man, there's a little bit of a lull in this game. Yeah, never mind. We're just fighting all over the place. Great fighting from the bot side of Anima Gaming. No one falls there to that Caitlyn, and the million with both of them were dangerously low. As whenever you need me to, if you need a break from play-by-play, dog, let me know.
These guys do not want to give me a break. These guys are playing such a scrappy game. They don't want to hear me stop talking, I think is what it is. Good trade actually from Windfall Panda here, working. They got the Bomby Cinder, and it looks like they're going to go into maybe like a Warden's Mail or a Frozen Heart. I'd have to imagine probably Frozen Heart.
Yeah.
Drag coming up. I think ultimately that play did go pretty well for Anima, and they have summoners coming up. They have the Volibear flash engage here, and here actually probably looking onto the Ari here. There is the Q.
Yeah,
flash R into the seismic shove, into the Malignant, or the R. Does not matter, and Rebel Phoenix is on a rampage, and this looks like it should just be dragging over to Anima.
He's 4-0 right now on this Ashe, is definitely failing it right now on this champion. And again, it's overloading a lane to pick up a kill. Not bad. You're able to scoop up Dragon. Dragon's now even. You do have the grub advantage. So really good stuff here from Anima Gaming. And as opposed to game one, there is no giga-scaling gold-generating character in the top side. So you always kind of on this ticking time bomb. You always, right now, when you have a 1.5k gold lead, it doesn't feel like, well, a game plan is going to come back. It feels like a 1.5k gold lead.
I think in this game, the pressure's on high alert. You have a lot of these like early to mid game champs, the Caitlyn, the Ahri, the Vi, even the Shaco. I feel like you kind of have to get something going early. Yeah, this is a really good early game, up nearly 3,000 gold just there about for Anima, and we do see that the Rift Herald is about to spawn, perhaps looking to rotate Rebel Phoenix. I feel like we're seeing kind of what we saw in game 1, where it was high alert goes where Bear goes. I think Anima goes where Rebel Phoenix goes this game.
Exactly, and you know, right now seeing the first items kind of appear. Static Shift is finished for Caitlyn. This is kind of the meta for crit AD carries, just so because it allows you to get to your later items faster. Because like realistically, Caitlyn doesn't want to fight at one item unless she's really ahead. So just being able to farm, get items under her belt, because she's not ahead. She's not ahead at the Ashe on any circumstances, and she won't be able to out damage her. So I do like this pickup. Although one thing I am a little bit interested in is you do see the Ryleys coming out for the Talia. So going for that full utility, just all these slows right now as Anima looking to full siege this top side.
Popping this rift right away. They have the 4 grubs, so not quite gonna get the void mites, but the
they don't have 5 on Vi.
It's gonna be 4v4. Talia is walking up, so it would be a 5v4. What a hole in there from Bear. They're looking to do as much damage as they can. That's gonna be a charm in, but Frog actually stepped by the RR. He's gonna have to run right away, and Papa Poach going in. Windfall Panda gonna try and pop the R over the top. That's gonna be 2.
Oh my God.
Kiale is super low. Ari gets killed on the backside, and Kiale is gonna drop here as well. That is 3 kills already over to Anima, and they are storming this top lane. Rift is down, but they're going to continue the pressure as Bullet is just mid, going to try and collect some farm.
Yeah, Windfall Panda hits a huge ultimate in that game, and he's able to knock up, I believe, nearly every single member of High Alert, and this is a second turret going down for the side of Anima. Oh, a near Unraveled Earth hits on the Vi, but just able to escape. The Hunk keeps himself alive.
This is a totally different game than what we saw game 1. Because that was such an even game. Like, even though, yes, there was a ton of kills, outside of the gangplank, it was pretty even in terms of the game state. But this game, Anima have hit the ground running. This Ashe on 2 items already. Volibear has that Sundered Sky. We see Moonstone coming out for this Melio. And everything is looking up for Anima, looking to make this a series.
Yeah, Anima's looking to push us to a game 3, and I think a large portion of it is, again, we talk about the gangplank so much, but you brought it up with the Zillion. The Zillion was so impactful because he made the fights even. There's so much extra work you have to do to pick up these kills that, you know, eventually, like, the fights keep going more and more in your favor. Well, Shaco doesn't have a revive, at least to my knowledge. I mean, you know, I don't play Shaco that much, so he totally could. Who knows, right? But, you know, it kind of just felt like a lane just to kind of smash it, and they've done anything but smash that bot lane.
Yeah, I feel like Kiale gonna have to look for some really creative angles here. Get in on this Ashe, try, or maybe even Emilio. I mean, it's so hard, but there's such a big shutdown on this Ashe at the moment. We see Ornn coming down from the bot's action, head back towards the bot lane, clearing out this vision. You have drag up in a minute. I don't know if you want to fight this if you're high alert.
Yeah, if you're high alert, your main objective is get Caitlyn as many items as she possibly can. This is your carry. I believe this is one of, if not high alert's best player in Bullet. So making sure that Bullet can get to a point where they can carry, I think, is incredibly important, as Windfall and Bear. Funny enough, we never commented on this. It's a Bear v Bear matchup.
Sethi going in onto the Ashe, and the tower does go down, but look at this damage. Ashe does flush away, but that's actually going to be a kill over. Kiale is looking like he's going to drop, but look at this damage coming from the Caitlyn. Sethi doing, Big Turk doing as much damage as they can. Good flash away. TB coming in from Ahri, and they do have the ultimate. They don't have the flash. Good pull back in there from Bear, and these guys are scrapping in the bot lane 1v1. Ahri looking to pump, not going to hit the charm. Don't know if the R has been popped. The continued fight in the bot lane. These guys aren't done. And that's going to be the R pop from Ornn into the R from the Set. Set is getting super low, but he does flash away. Does he have the Haymaker up in time? That is going to be the pullback. Oh, now we're going back into the lane. Pop a potion. Gets super low. The charm does not quite connect. And they're going to continue to walk this out. It looks like both those guys in the bot lane are able to survive. And ultimately, you got to say the fight probably won. Oh, Papa Potion goes back over. They're playing the super risky. And look at this damage coming through. Over top. But look at the shielding. Windfall Panda trying to front line. They can't get the kill onto this volley bear. Orn going in. That's gonna be a kill over shutdown.
TP from Set!
And TP is coming in from Set. Look at
Rebel
Kelly.
Phoenix is here!
They're so low. And look at this massive haymaker. Does nearly pop into Leah, but these guys just play. There's 3 on the left side. And Bear does just get popped right away. And Bullet is doing a lot of damage. But the fight is won by Anima, and that should be a dragon reward.
Once again, another fight that lasts so long because Rebel Phoenix died in the mid lane and then showed up to the dragon fight and picked up a kill. Like, what kind of world are we living in? But huge fight there from the side of Anima Gaming, because that kind of felt like a Hail Mary play from High Alert. You know, you got the vibe. The Shaco was right behind her, able to pop that Ashe, but, phrasing. But, you know, the Talia did so much damage throughout that fight. And then another thing is the Talia also provides such a nuisance, not only because the dashes, but all the slows. You have to try and get through all of these slows right now. And Anima Gaming looking really strong. But most importantly, Windfall Panda's Cull is about to pop. That's most important.
Pop a potion, showing the prominence of Volibear at the current moment. Just so much healing, the shielding with the Sundered Sky, with just the kit in general. They have control of this Baron side of the map. They're going to look to clear out the vision that was set up by Kiale. Things are looking really good for Anima at the moment, but there are signs of life. We saw Rebel Phoenix get popped there by Big Turk, by Kiale. They went in, they got the kill, they got the flash. There is an opportunity to look again, but Baron looks like it might just be getting started up now. They're just clearing out some vision, looks like.
Yeah, they're clearing around vision, just threatening at all points, because you're allowed to. Ashe is nearing that 3-item power spike. She does have finished 2 items. Talia does do a lot of damage. I was about to say, I don't know what she's building, but she'll get there eventually. We do see the Heartsteel actually finished for the Orange, so trying to do as much damage as they can. Oh, here comes Kiale. They did see him, though, with the volley, so rightfully back away.
Don't think you want that one without the Vi lockdown to follow suit. We are seeing Big Turret coming back, but Orin in the area. Gonna see Bear just pressure that top turret. Perhaps we're able to get, you know, these side turrets, as it does feel like kind of the lane pressure is all Anima right now. Are good dodge there.
Nice
good
dodge
from Kiale, but this tower is gonna be
Good
ult in there from Papa Potion. He is by himself. They are gonna get the tier 2 turret. Engineer looking, fishing for the seismic shove. Gonna get it onto the turret, and there's the Ornar. Vi getting just chunked on the spot. Kiale looking to go in, but it is at best a 3v5. Set does get the top turret, but you will take that if you're Anima, and Baron is up 30 seconds on the jungler.
Baron's on the table. Looks like the Set will just keep on pushing in this top side, but a great find by Engineer with the Unraveled Earth. As Set is potentially looking for a flank. He did stop its recall. I don't know if he's reset. They see him now.
You see him, 8,000 on the Baron. Vi not up for 5 seconds, so there's not really a steal opportunity, but there could look to be a fight after the fact. Frog, Kiale, they're getting in spots to go in for it, and that's gonna be an ult out, and the Baron is actually taken by the Talia. Baron trying to kill as much damage. Look at that massive haymaker, but the damage is not there from the rest of the team. Objective bounties are now live. Kiale is just in there at this point. He's just gonna have to pop the R, look to do the
there he goes.
That is the kill. Objective bounties on the table. Baron over to Anima Gaming, and things are looking good for the game 3.
Yeah, things are looking really good to push us to a game 3. And I like the idea from Bear, just, you know, trying to slink around, potentially looking for a miracle flank, but did not get the right angle on that showstopper to dump it into that backline. As what's the Talia? Oh, Talia just full bot Deathcap, by the way. So she's now gonna. Yeah, that is the absolute Chad move of mid lane, is when you just like, yeah, I could go my standard items, but I'm just gonna buy Deathcap.
Sethi is going to get spotted out there. Are good dodge away. We are seeing some good reflexes. Hylert has hands, but Anima has the Baron, and they are 5-manning it down the mid lane. Bullet trying to set up these traps to deny the ability to siege. Good art actually potentially coming out here. Bear going to get hit up by the haymaker, and he is just popped on the spot. Sethi trying to go in, but he is by himself. There is no follow-up. There is no help. Pop a potion, going to take down that turret. Bullet cleanses pop a
He might
potion. Actually,
die.
oh, good flash out there. This turret will drop, and the Ornar call the Forge God onto 3, flash in, kill onto Frog. No, he is able to flash away, but these guys are getting so low. Orn is getting charmed up onto the tower, and they are focusing this inhibitor. They do have the dragon coming up in 20 seconds, so I do think they're going to fall back. But they don't have a jungler. They might actually look to just continue to push this top lane, and it is...
They might be able to just get a turret here.
3v4, they are trying to get this turret. They are using the last of those minions. They aren't quite able to do it, and we do see Bear and Seth here both coming up. Bear does have R, but there isn't really a great teleport.
You see Bing.
But Bear is looking for it. He is looking for the Hail Mary play, but the rest of the team isn't able to get there. They're trying to clear the minions, and it is looking like just gonna have to walk that one off as the dragon is coming up.
Dragon is up. Papa Potion just respawned. They cannot start this just yet, as the right client is trolling me and kicking me out of the game. But to no avail. I am back in this game as Windfall Panda.
The dragon is just taken right away. Bear is fishing for a massive R. He is getting so low, he doesn't even have a chance to Haymaker, and that is going to be a kill over on
Engineer.
Kiale is low. They are going to kill the clone, so he is going to be able to walk it off. But yeah, this Talia, this Ashe, these carries are so strong, and they are just getting spoon-fed by the Melio, protecting for so much health, shielding, the healing. Very, very well done from everybody over here.
Yeah, and the important thing to note is that Bolt still hasn't died, right? He's 1-0-2, has not died this game. I mean, he's had great positioning, but his front line just isn't able to hold up. You know, the set, is going opting into that hull breaker, but don't know how many more turrets he's going to be pushing down. The Vibe finishes the Black Cleaver, but again, like, the front line right now just kind of gets evaporated by the carries of Anima Gaming.
Yeah, no heal cut yet on the side of High Alert, and it's hard when you're in like this kind of spot from behind, but the Volley Bear, Emilio just doing so much to either keep themselves alive or keep their teammates alive that it is a hard thing to avoid. 5-man unit, they're not even trying to push across multiple lanes. They have the super inhib mid, so they're just trying to let those naturally push in, and they're going to pressure on this bot side and force somebody to go answer mid.
Yeah, they will force an answer mid lane, and right now, if you're Anima Gaming, you can kind of just force whatever you want here. You have the Volibear ulti right now to cancel this turret if they show up too far. So Kiale will be looking for a flank, or at least trying to.
For this R, Ornn is not giving him the chance. Windfall Panda knows the devastation that could come if he gets ulted on top of this Ashe, on top of this Talia. And so positioning, typically you worry about, your 80 carries, but this game you gotta be worried about it if you are.
Goodbye.
Seismic shove. Bear is just gone on the spot. No opportunity for an R. And they're going to keep this pressure up. Turret going low. These guys are just going to siege it. Ornar coming through. Able to hit onto Bullet. No, it is flash away. Good reflexes. But it does not matter as they continue the push. Ornar down for Caitlyn Flash. Volibear still has their flash, or their R, and they are going to go in, and they are taking the turret out. These guys are getting super low. Kiale on the backside trying to do what they can, but they are just getting popped. Didn't get a chance to pop their ultimate. Frog low. Sephi low, the charm might actually be the benefit of Anima as they are going to get the double kill. Rebel Phoenix, that is going to be a triple kill over to this Ashe. Ornn, meanwhile, getting the wave in, and I think that we are going to game 3 right now.
Looks like we will have a game 3 on our hands. Rebel Phoenix popping off in this game as Bear is just maybe looking to take him to the grave, but will fall in the end. And game 3 for both teams.
Yeah, momentum very high on the side of Anima Gaming right now. We'll take a look at the damage here, and the Ashe damage so much there over the top. Talia, Volibear, Ornn, all doing their work. And yeah, I mean, you called it. I mean, a lot of damage coming through from Bullet, from Frog, but it was just these frontliners did so much work there on the side of Anima Gaming.
Yeah, they were able to kind of really soak so much. And again, the set pick works in this comp if you're able to bully the Ornn in lane, if you're able to kind of stack all the resist, stack the health on the Ornn and then kind of dump this giant health target into the backline, but never quite found those angles. And the other thing is, too, I talked about it at the start of the draft, drafting a comp that had a little bit more punch, because it felt like game one they were so even in these fights, but a lot of it was because they didn't have enough damage to kind of, or at least the damage that they did have wasn't sticking or hitting the high alert. Now they had champs that were able to kind of stick a lot of easier damage onto high alert, and well, we got a game like that.
Indeed, we do, and we do see a side switch here. It is going to be High Alert taking that blue side. They've got something that they want to prio, and they want that side of the map. As we do see the giraffe link getting posted, we will go ahead and pay out game number 2 predictions, and I think that there's going to be some schmeckles being paid out here for those who believed in Anima Gaming.
Yeah, remember, Frog Guy. Always bet on the enemy, so you'll never be disappointed. Well, he better tighten up, because obviously Highlight's playoff chances are on the line this game. Win and you keep your hopes alive. Lose, and it's good night moon.
Yeah, let's go ahead and switch these logos around. Very professional here at the low budget LCS. Cover up the Mona Lisa, switch over the dragon. We have different sides here, and it looks like a little bit of talking coming up. I'd have to imagine both teams are looking to take a little break and just talk about where things are at. Because, again, you mentioned it. High Alert has to win this if they want to be kind of in control of their own destiny for playoffs. Technically they could make it if they go 4-4, but their path to playoffs is so much easier if they're able to pick up 5 series wins.
Yeah, so the biggest thing is, if you're a High Alert, where your draft adaptations have to come from. First off, you have to take away Ashe. I don't feel like you can really let Rebel Phoenix play this Ashe again, because it was so hard. As actually they gave us a new spec link, so let me open up this one. Yeah, you cannot let Rebel Phoenix back on this Ashe, because it will kind of be the death of you. I feel like in this game, and they haven't really found a great answer for it, right? Again, the Zillion in the game's totality was good, but the Ezreal wasn't able to kind of get excuse me, sorry, I was reading chat. But the Ezreal, kind of really suffered a lot throughout that laning phase, and again, last laning phase was a disaster for the side of High Alert. So I would say take that Ashe away, force him to play something different. Also, getting Kiale on something like the Zillion, like the Jaina, that makes the opponent work so much more to find these kills, I feel like is going to be such a good win condition for High Alert.
Yeah, I think you've just got to take Rebel Phoenix off the Ashe. You've seen 2 very strong performances, and even if you feel like your bot lane may have the advantage, it's just you got to pay the respect. I think you got to ban the Ashe. I think the Shaco just wasn't quite able to get that early advantage that you really have to get with the Shaco support. And then when you play such an early to mid game comp and you fall behind early, it is really tough. And like you mentioned in the game, they didn't have that security blanket in the Gangplank top. So I'd like to kind of see a different approach from High Alert. I think Anima really had again, it looked a little wonky on paper. You had the frontliners wanted to go in, and you had the disengage from the back line, but they made it work. Windfall, massive on that Ornn. Again, Rebel Phoenix, Engineer, everybody, I think, on the side of Anima played really well in that game. And so the pressure, I think, is really on High Alert here.
Yeah, so right now, High Alert, again, I would say that those are the draft adaptations that they need to make. But on the side of Anima, you have to be prepared. Okay, what do we think that they're going to take away? And what is our game plan for it? Again, I've been pounding the table for so long. Zeri, Jinx, the queens of bot lane right now, in my opinion. Both of these champions have gotten through both drafts at this point. And I feel like High Alert could opt for it, but at the same time, we've seen Rebel Phoenix on the Ashe. I wonder what he can do on something like a Jinx, where he can just go berserk in these team fights.
Yeah, a lot of talk in chat about the static shiv on the Caitlyn. I do think it generally is kind of like your standard build for a lot of AD carries at the moment. You get the wave clear. It's the cheaper item. I think things like Jinx also go in.
if your name isn't like Callista, Jin, Draven, Kog'Maw, like stuff like that, it is Static Shiv every time, no matter who it is. Because again, the idea is that at one item, you're not killing anyone to begin with, right? Unless again your name is Zeri, but Zeri is just such a disgusting monster of a champion right now that yeah, whatever. But like even then, it lets you get more farm, which is a far more consistent way to get gold than get kills. So then you're able to get to your late game points far more consistently than like having to rely on like, okay, I need to just try and one shot someone.
Yeah, it does look like we are getting started with the draft here. Same bands on the side of High Alert, same bands on the side of Anima, and that is the Ashe takeaway. So we will see Rebel Phoenix on something new, as a lot of this, I think actually all the same bands from Game 2 from Anima. What does High Alert have set up here? Actually, well, there it is. They just picked the brand, and there is the Jinx immediately picked up.
Yep, there is the first hyper carry off the board. So they did kind of not okay, take away their main one and then take the second one. Although it will be the Varus here from Anima. A little bit of an interesting pivot here. Varus obviously does have like can literally ultimate bravery his build, and he's totally fine. A totally fine champion. I would like him to maybe opt for a more poke style to kind of try and dominate the Jinx in lane and to kind of, keep this Jinx down as far as she can. And so, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Varus plays very similarly to the Ashe. You're relatively immobile. You have the ability to crowd control with your R. You have a lot of tools. And it's going to be the Ornn, maybe?
Oh,
no.
actually,
no.
no.
Get the Talia. One thing, and we'll see what High Alert looks to pick. I feel like support is really going to matter in this series, especially on the Jinx. You have to have something that can enable your AD carry, whether that's an Enchanter. We know Kiali can play things like the Lulu, whether it's things like the Annie, the immediate multi-man crowd control. We'll see what the answer is for High Alert. About 5 seconds here left on the pick, and it's going to be the Syndra. It's been banned away. At least game 1 it was banned. Took the Ahri last game, but certainly one of Frog's more comfortable picks.
Yeah, Syndra is something that can kind of, more traditionally beat Talia in lane. Again, Talia doesn't really get a lot of benefit from the Unraveled Earth unless she does hit that kind of kickback on the W. So both mids and AD carries being taken off the board here for both teams. So we do know what the carries will look like at least, but how will they fill out the rest of the team? And High Alert will take the Ornn for themselves.
A lot of prio. Ornn, just such a catch-all top laner. I love Ornn in just about any comp. I feel like it fits into anything you want to do, and the Mordekaiser hover could be problems for Ornn up on the top side. Not sure if it's going to be locked in yet, but that would be a different style than what we've seen so far from Windfall, as they have played kind of these like tanky frontliners, but instead they're going to go Alawi, throwing down the gauntlet.
It's the best champ in the game, baby. I mean, listen, what other champion can mind control the opponent to walk in slowly as 5 into Alawi and let themselves get hit by a bunch of tentacles? But in all seriousness, this is actually a lot different of a style from Anima, because we've seen them kind of take these early, the 5v5s have been kind of where they've thrived, but it's been in these like scrappy, like everyone's together but not really kind of styles. Well, Alawi kind of just wants to be by herself in a side lane and be like, guys, don't talk to me, I'm off, like, doing whatever. So going to be interesting to see how Anima wants to play this out. Again, both junglers and supports are up, so what will Anima Gaming? So, like, they are actually going to ban the Nas. I don't know if I like this right now, because I feel like High Alert has enough to engage and pick, and the Zillion is still open for High Alert.
Have to imagine that is a consideration for High Alert. Called out by chat, you don't often see jungles and supports being not in the first 3 for either team, so certainly a spicy draft that we've got here. If you're Anima, what do you think you for here? Do you do a jungler or do you go support?
You have to pick a jungler. You want to get your Varus in the best possible lane that you can. Again, the Hui ban maybe indicating that the Talia could also be a jungle flex. That is something that you also that Anima can do. Be a little bit odd to pull out the Talia jungle here, but again, oh, and they're actually gonna take the Zillion away themselves. Okay, I like this.
Did not see that one coming. They figure the high alert probably takes it if they leave it up. So the answer is to take it away. And now the pressure's on. What do you pick into it? Do you pick an engage like a Rakan? Do you go a Lulu? What's the call?
I mean, we could also see the Janna again, because again, right now, again, it's all ranged champions, but Janna can be such a nuisance and also kind of pocket the Jinx here, as it will be the Thresh for Kiale, so something to get the bullet out of dodge right now. And what will it be for the jungle? The Poppy is still available. The Poppy is not that great this game. You could also maybe look for something like the Jarvan to trap Varus in the pit with you.
Potentially
Something.
a Wukong. I think I've seen Sethy play that as well. A lot of options here. Gonna be blind. You gotta kind of throw down the gauntlet here, and it is going to be
Nothing.
It's
The
Jarvan. Jarvan picked up, super cookie cutter jungler, cannot complain, and now everything on the table. Anima Gaming, Papa Potion has the counter pick. We saw a really good Volibear game, and it's gonna be a hover on Morgana. No, wait a second.
So this would be Zillion mid, Talia jungle, Alawi top, Varus Leona bot. Now this is such an incredibly interesting comp here from Anima, because it almost feels like Anima is literally just going to kind of be like dancing around in these fights and never wanting to commit to anything, and just letting Alawi just kind of draw as many people to her as possible. So it's incredibly interesting, because outside of Alawi, they don't have any frontline, nor do they have anyone that can really soak any damage. It's a lot of like disengage and poke and dance and a well-timed Black Shield or Zillion ulti. But if High Alert gets their hands on Anima, right, in a team fight, I mean, High Alert might just wipe them off the face of the earth.
Yeah, it's a really interesting comp from Anima Gaming. They're gonna have to prove that these pieces work together. As I'll go ahead and start the predictions. Give a little bit of time, because there are some things that can be flexed around. Technically the Morgana could go jungle, could go mid, could go support. Talia could go mid jungle, Zillion on the table. I will go ahead and give about 5 minutes. Let me go ahead and set this up. But yeah, this is win or go home. You have to feel like if you are High Alert. I gotta say, I really like their comp overall. I think it's, very... When I think of a good League of Legends comp, I look to that left side. You got a tank, you got the engage, you got the damage, and the Jinx right now is super good.
Yeah, Jinx right now is super potent, but again, like I said, on the side of Anima, this is a comp to where it can be so frustrating to play against, because you can never get your hands on them, right? Because they're just constantly sliding around and dancing around you and just playing from such a distance that if High Alert kind of gets beside themselves, or doesn't slowly put one foot in front of the other in these fights, it can get really messy for them. And I like Anima Gaming's comp in these messy, scrappy style of fights, compared to High Alert.
Yeah, we do see it's the Talia jungle, Zillion mid, which means it is Morgana bot lane. A lot of pressure, I think, on Say Why Not and Rebel Phoenix. You're playing this double poke. You're playing the Morgana. I mean, we saw last game, Shaco had to be the one to make things happen. I think this game, it's the Morgana support on the other side has to make things happen, because Morgana is not one of those champs that feels super great in the mid to late game if you're playing from behind. But game number 3, early betting very heavy in the favor of High Alert. Again, we just saw a really good game from Anima. Again, Anima not able to make playoffs at this point in the season, but they could be the stepmother in Cinderella, deny the heroic playoff comeback for High Alert, as we're about 30 seconds left before the spectator delay.
Yeah, and this is something, and another thing that's really important to note: Varys has to go poke this game. If he goes on hit or like the sit there and auto attack Varys, I don't ever know how he actually autos people because there's no one who wants to stand in front of him, right? The on hit Varys needs people to stand in front of him and let him ramp up and let him just go to town on people, just firing all these arrows. Whereas the poke Varys, like if you could just sit back out of vision, don't get engaged on. Again, it has that style of just dancing around high alert, kind of like this almost guerrilla warfare kind of style. How I'm imagining they would want to play fights.
Yeah, I'm excited here. I think there's a lot of things that need to get off the ground early. I think Windfall Panda on this Alawi gonna make life a living hell for Bear. I used to play top lane back in the Stone Age, and that I can't imagine it's a fun matchup at all. Talia Jungle, not seeing it as often these days. I maybe it's coming back into the meta a little bit. But yeah, like you mentioned, there's no real frontline here besides the Alawi, who kind of wants to do their own thing anyway. So a lot of pressure on positioning here. I think that's going to be the key against things like the Jarvan, like the Thresh, the Syndra. Very, very dangerous.
Yeah, and if this Alawi gets rolling again, right now there isn't really anyone on high alert side who can handle Alawi alone, right? Especially if she gets rolling and she's able to get to these items. And so it's going to be super imperative to see how the Talia plays this early game, where she wants to put her pressure. Because if the Alawi falls behind, then for the most part, Hyler can just kind of ignore her or whatever she's doing and just kind of bulldoze through the rest of Anima Gaming.
Yes, Clutch. We are heading into game number 3. High Alert won a banger of a game number 1. Nearly lost down 10,000 gold off a massive team fight. And then game number 2, we saw Anima keep up that momentum and kind of ran things from start to finish. So we are heading into game number 3. Hopefully, I'm gonna try and switch us over so we can get the right people on the right sides. Hopefully, this doesn't break our spectator here. So yeah, go ahead and vamp for me for a second as we're gonna swap these logos around.
Of course, no problem. And so the other thing that's interesting about this game and kind of how I foresee this game kind of working for both teams is that is the Frog Syndra? Because like Syndra is a champion that, again, she's kind of like an Alawi. I won't say like Alawi S because that's implying that she sits there and split push and 1v5s, right? But if she gets off the ground, she gets rolling, she's so hard to deal with. The amount of times that I've played Syndra and like Morgana's like, hey, I'm gonna black shield you so you can live, and then Syndra just I QD'd someone, and the black shield is gone and they're instantly dead is far too many to count. So Frog getting ahead would throw a huge wrench in Anima's gaming's plans. As we are looking at the rune, so the Halo Blades is out for the Varys. This does look like they will opt for the poke, as I am in game.
I think.
Have you been able to?
There was a Streamlabs update today, and I'm starting to think that that may have had something to do here. I'm just going to.
That might have done it.
I'm going to immediately just exit out and just go back into the spectator. Hopefully, you're able to pause. We will look to get this back up as quick as possible.
I can pause whenever. To kind of talk about the rest of the game and how I think a lot of these things should or maybe will go. As of course, as I talk about how things should and will go, they oftentimes don't in these games. The name of the game for Anima is early game and laning phase. Other than the mid lane, they should have advantages in every lane. For their lanes, so they should be able to kind of hopefully transition that into a lot of leads and whatnot. But if High Alert are able to kind of get to a point where they're not too far behind a laning phase, they're at a good point where the Jinx has items, the Syndra has items, and the Ornn is able to soak, then I think that then high alerts can become a huge problem for Anima because again they don't have a frontliner. There are four squishy targets as I see that
We
you are
are
in.
in
So
120, 121, 22. Where are you at?
3, 4, 5. I'm at 125,
Okay.
26, 27,
I'm gonna pause for
28,
one.
30, 31, 32, 33,
We should be
34.
good. So I paused for one
Perfect.
quick second. We did see there was a stack on that bot side. Rebel Phoenix able to sniff that one out. Going to be a bot side start for both with a leash. Early clear, looking to go to the Talia. Slightly faster tempo. I'm not too familiar with how Talia jungle clear is, but we know Jarvan has the ability to look for those early plays. Maybe looking mid on the Zillion. Maybe looking top on the Alawi, trying to get themselves ahead. Should be seeing some interesting fighting here up near this top scuttle, I think.
Yeah, Talaya jungle can actually clear relatively fast because you do have the Q does hit so many targets at once. As Bear just kind of has to accept his fate here, as Alawi just kind of gonna beat up on his soul there. As we already see the Talaya pathing into her raptors, so a little bit ahead of the Jarvan here as Zillion will get an early ward on the blue buff, so we'll see that where the Varus is pathing.
Yep. They will know that Jarvan started on this bot side, not on their blue buff yet. I mean, look at the clear. Talia already on their 5th camp. So they'll have the slight tempo advantage, but the wave is going to be shoving away. Good
Oh, miss
dodge
E.
on the E, and that is kind of everything on the allow. You have to hit the E. That's where so much of your damage comes from. So I think you're happy with that if you're Bear. Could be a look here potentially for Jarvan, but they will know if he's coming.
Yeah, just dodging around it right now. Ashy.
Oh, Action might just die here on the
He's
spot.
dead.
He is super low, and that's going to be just a first blood over the Ornn, and a solo kill. Morgana Binding does hit, flay away. First blood over to high alert.
And that's a disaster if you're Anima Gaming, because I could tell what the Alawi wanted. She wanted to just get that wave under turret and leave because again, the wave was crashing. She knew the Dragon was topside, but just wasn't able to get it in fast enough. And so as this, I think I'm in a pause here.
It looks like there was a pause that we didn't see, and now we're in it. We see Papa Potion with that level 4 advantage. They are invading onto this Jarvan, has the level up. Ornn did just reset, could look to TP in though, and will have that Bramble. So could be a tough spot. It is looking like it's going to reset. Frog is on the move, and Papa Potion does not want this anymore.
Yeah, they do stop Kiali's back in the bot lane as well. So are able to kind of delay the tempo here. And that's so big. I can't talk about how big enough that is for the side of high alert because now again Bear's able to kind of be a little bit more at ease. Ooh, actually nice and Rebel Earth on the Sephi, but
Good flash out there from Papa Potion. Does get hit up by the Cinder Stun. Not gonna be any follow-up. Buff does go over to Jarvan. Quick shout out to someone you don't know, one of everyone's favorite admins, the creator of Lechank's Licks Toes, or at least he's the one who exposed the truth, let's say. Resubscribing for 53 consecutive months as another good trade top lane.
yeah, Bear right now getting the better of Windfall Panda in these early trades. Of course, Windfall will have the shove, but here comes Jarvan.
Jarvan is
No
not gonna be
6.
seen, and they're trying to position in between these tentacles. Does not matter. Jarvan comes in, EQ over the top. Not gonna be able to pick up the kill yet. Flash in from Big Turk. Gotta remember that is their name, and that's another kill on this top laner. The look mid lane, Talia is coming in from behind. Zillion trying to slow them down. Can they get the seismic shove? Ooh, good
Nice flash.
That was a blind flash from Frog. Gotta give props to that. But they are running towards the bot lane. I don't think there's much that high alert can look to do. I think you just gotta try and walk up.
Need to get this to Rebel.
They gotta try and give this to Rebel if they can. As we're
Oh,
in
another post-pause?
We should expect that this.
I can imagine that as we get out of this, Frog is dead.
How does Frog get out of this play?
Yeah, this is like a free, the record scratch. Like, hey, this is me.
How I got
You're wondering how I got in here. But talking more kind of as we get a lull here. Hopefully it didn't break. That's the other thing that we have to make sure that it didn't break.
Yeah, that would be disastrous if the spectator client has just decided to stop working on us. We'll see if the spectator
if it catches back up.
Him, the guy saying Frog lives here. Give me your thesis on how he gets out here. I am all ears.
So yeah, I'm all ears for this. But talking about the top lane matchup here, again, the Alawi dying after pushing the waves. Right now, there's a decent CS lead for Bear, and the Alawi still has Flash. But again, that's you just have to respect the fact that you are the target right now. Because again, if Bear gets ahead, it's so hard for Anima to kind of play their comp as I'm. So here's what I'm doing. I'm gonna exit the game, and I'm gonna try and like click the spectator thing again.
Yep.
Because if the client is broken, then well.
Loki making a very good point in the chat. Frogs in the river, which is his natural habitat. He'll just go underwater, and I think that is probably Frog's best position here, is to go underwater. We will see where we're at. With
Whenever I click spectate game, it does nothing.
So
I think it Unaraki might have broke.
That is truly classic.
Let me try and relog maybe.
We will take a brief recess. We're hopefully gonna see Zodiac be able to come through in the clutch. I'm gonna reload. Yeah, I mean, early game going really well for Bear. I think Sethi, Big Turk making a big play there top side, getting a kill in their pockets. Jinx, I think things are looking pretty good overall for High Alert.
Yeah, things are looking great for High Alert because, again, the entire point of Anima Gaming's comp was to get ahead early and just, put this big teamfight comp behind. Not able to do it, so... can we get a next time on Dragon Ball Z outro? I wish. That would be so fun. That would be so fun. That's all. I relogged. It said there was an optional update, so I went ahead and updated it. So I'm gonna try and see if that helps.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, wait. This is big. I'm loading. I'm loading into the game right now, I think.
We will stay with bated breath. Again, we made it to the first 5 minutes, and then client decided to... the pause was too much to handle. We didn't actually see the pause, but we are sure as hell feeling it. Perhaps a preparation for the new update coming out tomorrow. Skarner rework. Everyone's nice and excited for that. I think it's been like 3 years since that poll came out. Personally, I'm more excited for the Olaf buffs that are coming up. Looking forward to getting to play that in the jungle, as I think it's a lot more fun than Olaf top lane.
I'm trying. I right now I have the blue pinwheel of death, so we shall see. So hopefully I'll be able to get in the game, but no, yeah, the Olaf buff's coming out and already making a pretty good champion just overall.
Yeah.
The stream Frigid is not us. It is Riot Games, small indie company, has completely destroyed Spectator client.
Highlighted message from GGG Turtle saying it's definitely Les' fault. I don't know how, but it totally is. And the thing is, I can't really deny it, right? So,
True.
Yeah.
Well, so
yes, they are playing, and we cannot see. Unfortunately, we are on Zodiac's end. He is trying to pull up the game on his end.
I still have the blue pinwheel of death.
Yeah. So we are hoping to get a resolution as quick as possible. We are just kind of filibustering at the moment. So if there's any hot pressing questions that the chat has this time, I'm sure we will field them. Yeah, and as him's mentioning, it is not really us. Looks like it was something on the Riot end. Unfortunately, maybe I'm bad luck, because the last time that I was on the cast with Papoba, we weren't able to watch the Mac and Cheese Club versus BYU Team Royal game number 2. Seems like we're in a bit of a similar position here, unfortunately. Okay.
How many holes does a straw have?
Go ahead. 1.
That was 1 hole. That was 1 long continuous hole.
See, and I just don't agree with that logic. I think that there's a clear top hole and a bottom hole, and Frankly, I don't have any facts to support that take, but it is just what I feel.
Hog gets out of this.
How much wood a
So
woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I remember looking up the numbers at one point. I think it was a lot, right? They definitely were able to like hold their weight. Let's do a quick.
yeah, I think the Spectre client is just broken.
According to Google, it's about 700 pounds. That seems like a lot for a woodchuck, which I think is a pretty small animal. Do I support any teams that average 500 in a season? I am a Tennessee Titans fan in football, and so they are a pretty mid team. Sometimes they do good, sometimes they do bad, but I would say they're about a 500 caliber club. Irish wristwatch. That, hopefully I didn't just say something I shouldn't have. Let's do it quick.
Irish wristwatch.
Oh, I see. It's a tongue twister that I don't know the whole thing for. I will
Irish
not be attempting
wristwatch. Yeah, it's the wrist. It's the wrist. It's
yeah.
Irish going into wrist. Because you want to say wrist. It's Irish wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch. I don't know. Nope. I did it one time and already butchered that. Let's see. Irish wristwatch.
Yeah,
No,
because there is a space in between the words Irish and wristwatch.
This is true. This is the English language we are talking about.
Yeah, as I think the Spectre client is just straight up bugging my like actual league client.
Yeah. When I had this issue with Popoba, I did have to like task manager and close it out through another monitor. So it seems like that's unfortunately kind of what we're stuck with today. And what we tried at that time was to do like a Microsoft Paint angle, but I am no Picasso. I will absolutely not be subjecting you guys to that. So
I actually relogged and sent me back to a black screen. What is this small indie company, dude? Like the Spectre client is open after I relogged. What is this? I'm actually so confused.
Thank you, him. I absolutely I absolutely angered many people at the LCS finals watch party. Because we were watching, well, not even just during your series, because we did pop that on as it was on stream after the LCS finals. But even during the LCS finals, people would say, you know, they were slipping. They said him, and you know how it goes. It's just like you've said it. It's a reflex, and it's a fun reflex because you've gotten me many times, and so it's nice to get other people. Except for when Praetorian threatened to sock me because I did it to him 2 times in a minute.
Someone said in chat, all right, let's get some blackjack content. I got schmeckles to lose. Hey, man. Scared money don't make money. You know, I have a question for chat and you, Les. There is a correct answer here. If you had, let's say magically, right?
Yep.
Let's say Sleepy Joe Biden, right, accidentally transferred $1 billion into your bank account, right? And you can use it however you want. What are you using it on?
And when you see the thing is that I already know what your answer is going to be, and it's just more fun. I mean, I would go with the very boring answer of I would pay off the debt, buy myself a nice house, you know, like one car, pay off the family debt, you know, parents debt, all that fun stuff. And then just buy like every video game known to man, and still have probably like 998 million left over. But go ahead and give us your answer.
Everyone said in chat. Chat knows the right answer. Put it all on red or make $1 billion parlay.
Yep. See, and I started it before.
Just think about the crazy money you can make.
You have $1 billion. You have $1 billion. You don't need to make any more money.
I could make more. Think about it.
Oh, Vader used choke. Thank you for coming over with the raid. Unfortunately, you were raiding into nothing as the spectator client has gone kaput. Ominous Penguin maybe mentioning in chat a potential reason that the game client's on one version of the game and the spectator's on another. I didn't actually do an update, so I'm I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sure.
because it broke. It broke like because game one was fine, game two is fine. So unless it updated in the point from like when we all got out of game two and going into game three, which wouldn't make sense because then the players would also be on that same update.
Figured I'd give it a shot and just scroll around a little bit. We'll hear the Zillion pop again. Um, yeah, I I think at this point we are unfortunately not gonna be able to watch the remainder of Game Three. I've heard it is a banger, of course. Um, so I guess depending on because at this point they're probably around
They're like
15.
eight.
Yeah,
They're 18 minutes in.
I mean I would certainly love to hear from whoever wins. So I mean if the game ends soon, I'd love to get them in for an interview and maybe hear about how Game Three went. But it looks like unfortunately Riot did not want us to watch the end of this game. So I do apologize to the High Alert fans, the Anima Gaming fans in the chat, the gambling fans. But unfortunately Riot did not want us to watch the end of the series.
Yeah, Riot has well, the other thing is Riot is leaving us in a great suspense of whether or not Frog will die, because technically he hasn't died yet.
This is technically true.
So him might be right. He might be right that Frog lives these, because if we can't see him die, he'll never die.
You know,
Schrodinger's Frog. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, this Frog, I mean, again, like you said, until we actually see him die, or we see Frog die, caught myself, there is no way to prove that Frog dies here. Now,
Exactly.
so, okay, here's like a very like practical answer and one that I would, agree with. You have to pay capital gains tax, so you're losing a big chunk of that billion. Invest a bunch of it. Pay off debt. That's a really, really good answer. But it's not.
All
it's not
red.
putting it all on red, as Turtle is saying.
Scared money don't make money. Listen, I don't know. Offshore account it. That's what all the billionaires do.
Casters, Legos, or old school RuneScape? I would probably say Legos. Neither are really my forte, but I have built a Lego set more recently than I've played RuneScape. Don't think I've played RuneScape since I was probably 12 or 13. And I did build I guess actually a Lego set was probably like 3 years ago too. So maybe I'm just like a fake fan on both sides.
Maybe, but gotta get that 99 fishing. I mean, gotta be fishing with the boys. You know what I mean? What's the, there's nothing like going out on the lake, no problems in sight, no nagging woman telling you how about the marriage is falling apart. Just you, your fishing rod, and the open sea.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just not for me, man. I can't grind games like that where it's just kind of mindless, monotonous style. Well, actually, I am lying. Because I have been playing a ton of Pokemon lately. Trying to catch them all. And that is very monotonous. So I guess I really have no room to talk in that regard. And I'm being given props in chat for... I mean, I never thought I'd hear Turtle not call me a nerd. But yeah, I think Legos have to clear old school RuneScape.
Oh, to each their own. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Did you have the Lego Star Wars games when you were a kid?
I did the OG one on the I played it on the GameCube. Yup.
I think I had it on the GameCube Q too. That was mine.
The little diner in you go out into all the
Yes.
ships and stuff. Oh, so many battles between my siblings and I out there just killing each other for absolutely no reason. Such a banger game.
Yeah, so to answer your question, someone asked, is the game over yet? So technically the game is not over yet, but the Spectre client is just completely broken. Not much we can do about it, just because, again, Do we have a live update?
So
Um,
the problem is that we can't. I don't think we can check. Like, can't click to see what the status is. I guess maybe if they did
if it's
use
a tournament, hold on.
codes.
If it's a tournament code, I can maybe hold
Yeah.
on.
So
Let me
I'll,
check. Let me check and see if it was a tournament code. If it's a tournament code, I might be able to. If it's not a tournament code, they just did tournament draft, I probably couldn't.
yeah. At this point, our plan is to kind of hang out, and I would love to interview whoever wins this series. But unfortunately, I don't believe either of the teams are streaming, so we're not able to get like an update as to how the games are going. How how many Korean? So I would say like at least 34. At the very least.
I have to say no. That's not rookie enough.
Well,
That's
and
not.
just like imagine like 34 Koreaners in a small bug. If you didn't know, Clutch FG is our knower of everything. Buggleberry Finn. Big debate in chat earlier today. Who do you think wins in a fight between a dog and a bird?
Well, it just depends.
On
Like what kind of dog and what kind of bird?
Do I have to get this? Okay, let's go with a. I don't know. We'll go with a boxer against a. I don't know, a blue jay.
Boxer against a blue jay. I definitely think a boxer is winning because blue jays are tiny little shits.
But how is the boxer ever gonna catch it? They can't fly.
I mean, well, like the blue jay might, but like if the dog kind of like pounces on like the blue jay wins, like on the ground for whatever reason, then
Well, sure.
like
If the blue jay messes up and they're caught slipping, they're done on the spot.
yeah, but like what is a blue jay gonna do to a dog that's like 20 times its size?
Hear me out. I'm now so they're gonna run around in circles, tire out the boxer. The boxer's going to pass out from exhaustion, and then the blue jay is just going to peck it for however long it takes to actually do some real damage. That's like the only way it's gonna win, because otherwise, yeah, I mean you're right. The blue jay's not going to do any real damage.
All I'm saying is you can pick whatever dog you want. No dog is being the shoebill stork.
I don't.
These things. You've never seen a shoebill stork?
I mean, I know what a stork is. Like the
Hold on,
cartoon.
don't even look it up. I got you.
Oh. I briefly had a boxer in my house, and that boxer was the most lethargic dog that I've ever met. So
You're gonna tell me a dog is going to beat that spawn of the devil?
what about maybe like a German or a Great Dane?
No. Dude, shoebill storks are like literally the devil.
What is
These things hunt crocodiles. Less force.
All right, I think
These things kill crocodiles for sport.
yeah, I'm unfamiliar with that game. I apologize. A big question here from him, the guy. What is the largest animal you think you could take in a fight? And now you really gotta sit here.
The largest animal I can take in a fight. Okay, I can't beat any dogs because dogs are far too agile. Right? I would probably say. I'd probably say like not a shoebill stork, but like a normal stork. I could probably beat a normal stork.
I'm thinking really hard here about different types of animals that I could. I mean, because so many animals are just off the table. The human species. wait, I'm getting cashed in. Is that gives me 10 more seconds to think?
True. Listen, all I'm saying is that like, you know what unironically though is one of the most dangerous animals like on planet Earth is a giraffe. Giraffes are like, dude, when they whip their head back and just headbutt you, I think it's like the same force as like getting hit by like an 18-wheeler going like 50. There's some crazy like stat like comparison like what's like getting hit by a giraffe when he like whips its head and hits you with it, and it could like destroy you. You will get swung at like a golf ball by a giraffe. That's what I'm saying.
So you got cash in for 10. I have my answer, and I'm going with the pigeon. I think I'm gonna like hedge my bets, and like I could beat a pigeon pretty easily. I think they're like not very smart. They probably wouldn't even really see it coming. Anything larger than that, and I think I just lose. Even like a, I don't know, like a monkey. I think I probably would lose to a monkey. It'd like gnaw at my leg or something. And I got another 10. Oh, there's a lot of tangoing going on in chat.
Oh my god, hold on, guys. So I just watched a random YouTube video on a shoebill store, like a YouTube short, and it's something like, "Oh, this is my favorite bird. Look how cute she is," and this stork is just staring him down, like about to probably rip his head off. And he's like,
Yeah, a
"I
lot
even got
about
his head."
storks.
Dude, shoebill storks are fucking vicious.
Yeah. Are we still in game for the series?
Yes, they are 30 minutes into game.
So it's an
I have no
exciting
live
game.
up.
Yeah, I have no idea. You get another 10. Him, the guy using their.
You act like I can't
Oh.
handle this.
Oh, that's 20 actually. Oh, that's 30.
I
That's
will-
30 actually.
I will. You know what? I will chug this Keystone Light. That's tough, bro. You act like I can't handle this.
Wait, where is the cooldown on Takes Two to Tangos? That's a fun. I mean, that's just like finish like an entire drink, right?
Keystone Light chug.
He's dropping. Yeah, me and Buggle played a drinking game like that once, and we actually played it the other.
Okay, so fun story. I wasn't a frat guy. My little brother was a frat. He was in a fraternity when he was at UT. But I hung out with all the frats here at St. Houston. Like I partied with them. So like, you guys act like I can't handle myself. Now, I will say though, I will not be chugging the second beer because the last time I drank like a lot was at the coast, and I got so sunburned on my feet that like I couldn't wear socks like at all.
Interesting. Doesn't sound ideal.
No, it sucks. All right, second drink. Just for a little bit of balance. Dude, this is the problem. The stream dies and everyone's just making us drink.
Yeah, we're really just. Well, you're really struggling, I think, at this point.
Kant has a good question.
Well,
Are we refunding Schmeckles or waiting for the game to end as your run is about to start,
Well,
by the way?
okay, so hold on him. I am not looking to get plastered like my co-caster here tonight. We are going to pay them out after the game ends. So we do want to get the winner. We do want to bring them onto an interview because we do want to see how the series ends, because this was such a good first two games. I think if you were tuning in late, you need to go back and watch game number one. Absolutely one of the best games I think I have watched all season. As I will do.
Might be the game of the year. That or it was game 2. It was, I know I casted it. It was me and Buggle. It was Italy versus someone, and that one team nearly came back from like 12,000 gold down, just from AP Kaisa.
So Kato, there must have been some type of like late night client update, and what we're theorizing is that the game is being played on one version of the game and we are stuck on the other version of the game. Zodiac has been trying on his end with the update to get in, but it's still not working. So yeah. Ebby, member of Team Italy, yeah, they're looking pretty good heading into commercial playoffs. They are the 1 seed in their group. I will say there will be some playoff content that should make him excited. Talking about the playoff teams, I'm going to give my predictions. That's a yearly or a seasonal thing for me is trying to predict how the playoff bracket's going to go. We're going to be looking to maybe get like community going. I'm gonna like try and keep track of everyone's predictions, who wants to join. Yeah, High Alert looking pretty good. Henchman got the first seed. Hijinks got the first seed. Main roster High Alert, they're looking to secure their trip to playoffs here in this series. As
yeah, it was TV Avalanche. You're right, Evie, because it was who was Avalanche's TV? You would know less. Avalanche's mid laner.
I think in that series they had. Oh, who did they have?
I don't know why I thought it was Full Metal.
They had to play Full Metal that series because the Bald Goose was not there. That was
right. It was your Singed Jungle game. That's right. Yeah, and Full Metal nearly completely 1v9 the game on AP Kaisa. That, by the way, that champion is just disgusting.
Yeah, that was pretty gross to watch. Miku pointing out a good point. Ionia hasn't lost a series since playing against Italy, which was in week 1. So they're looking pretty good. There's a lot of good teams in commercial. Of course, I've played my entire career in financial, but I am partial to commercial. You're doing the content for several seasons, covering the league. Group C, Group D, looking really, really tough. I think those seedings are all but decided at this point. Looks like there's still some things that could shake up in Group B. I think there's a big match between it's Dumplings and Naughty Sharks decides the last playoff spot in Group number B or Group letter B.
No.
And then
come on, man! I got the 60-second and 60 to tango.
Yeah, it's a time. And then Group A still has a couple playoff seeds left to decide, I believe.
So I know this is completely off topic, but I'm just like scrolling through pictures of Shoebill Storks. Look at this fucking adorable plushie you can buy. This turns this vicious I put it in community. So chat, you guys can see it too. That turns this vicious creature into something you can just snuggle up next to. Look how cute it is. Look at him. He's such a baby.
He is. That is a cute little plushie. Makes you forget just how vicious the creature is.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, you cannot throw it.
Well, it's like a football, perhaps.
By the neck.
Oh, like a frisbee.
Like sling it around like it's one of those bolas. Oh my god.
Yeah, I just
aerodynamic. I don't even know if these creatures fly. I think they do, but I think it's like, well, I just said that and I see a shoebill just with its wings fully furled out.
Yeah, I am watching with a bated breath. I'm looking.
Yeah,
at
I'm looking at my friends list. I'm looking at my friends list too.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm just like I want to know how this ends. We have invested too much into this to give up now. 37-minute game according to him.
Yeah, it's 38 now. We've crested 38.
If there's some way we can get the replay after the fact, and I just want to watch what happens in Game 3.
I do want to watch, because if we're at 38 minutes, like, I can't imagine this
close.
Dude, also, more shoebill stork facts. According to this website, this thing has hobbies other than just terrorizing the dreams of little children. Quote, despite its menacing appearance, the shoebill is no avian warrior. The low-energy solitary bird spends about 85% of its time standing, preening, and sitting on platforms of vegetation. So it's just standing there. The sluggish species stands motionless for hours, waiting for a tasty meal to swim by, and then collapses on its prey, hook-bill first, in a frenzy of wing flapping. Although the shoebill is capable of flying long distances, it's not migratory, spends only 0.9% of its time in the air, and only occasionally perches on trees. So just think, this thing is like no hobbies, just waits around and just sits there. But the fact that this website says hobbies and interests, like this thing, yeah, the shoe bill is really a fan of
Sentient, yeah.
crocheting. It's a fan of crocheting and mimosas.
Sounds just like
How tall are shoe bill storks? They normally stand around 3.5 to 5 feet tall. So, like, if you're 4'9", it probably sees you as prey.
yeah.
Although their wingspan is about 7.7 feet.
That is a wide wingspan.
He's a wide man.
Could probably take down Evdingus for sure. Who, by the way, we were trying to get a little bit of TriCast action going, and he just seemed to just disappear. I mean, what's up with that guy?
No. Oh, game's over. I have no idea how they did. I don't know who won.
Yeah.
I can't even check their thing. Someone how do we... Who won? Okay, one of the teams let us know who won, because we are currently... We're stuck.
Yeah, we
Man,
need to know who won this game. Let's take a look.
We need to know. This is important.
Yeah, it's just one of those spots. We're hopefully gonna get an answer back as to who won the series. Here any moment.
Want the replay file? I think we just need to know who won, or if someone from the winning team can join community, and we can maybe move them down to talk about it.
Yeah, if whoever, well, Rebel Phoenix, you were in this game, so who won the series?
Looks like Hylert lost, according to Loki.
So Anima Gaming picked up the series, did the reverse sweep down 1-0.
Rebel Phoenix is in community, if you want to move them.
Yeah, Rebel Phoenix in community. Yeah, we will, like I said, I want to hear, as I'm just going to go ahead and exit us out of this game. Perhaps it'll show us the...
It did show us.
Yeah, so we will get to see what happened. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and grab Rebel Phoenix here. There are so many channels to find my way through. Gonna go ahead and pull them up right now. And Rebel Phoenix should be on the broadcast with us. Congratulations on what we heard was a series win for Anima Gaming. How are we doing?
Yes, it was, and that was a banger of a finish. So it's really a shame that the stream froze.
Yeah, Riot kind of gave us the no hammer on watching that last game.
I do have the replay, like, if you want to try something like that. Otherwise, I can just talk about how the game ended.
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly send it through DMs, and we'll see if we can try to like get something going. But just for today, yeah, just tell us like what happened, because we're now that we're out of the game, I can see the game and I can see the gold was dead even, a near 40-minute game.
God.
So
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
So they took Elder, and they then moved mid lane, traded me for Syndra, and I think we also lost Talia. Pushed into our base, we held them off as long as we could, and then Windfall Panda, with the absolute hero play, flashes in onto Jinx, gets a 3-man ult and a pentakill.
Oh my
Quadra kill.
God.
Syndra was dead.
Because that's so sad that we did not see that.
Yeah. With that, we then TP'd top lane, took the gates, shoved, and just ended it there.
Oh my! I'm so sad I didn't get to see that.
Yeah, no, it
Oh
was amazing, absolute hero play.
Please clip that and put it in the highlight channel.
Oh, 100%, 100%. I've got the
Please
replay
do.
already open. I'm gonna absolutely get a copy of that.
So moving past this kind of game, because obviously there were two games we
Mhm.
were able to see. So talk to us a little bit about that game one, because it kind of felt like the game completely swung in so many different directions that game. So what was the end of that game kind of like in terms of a communication standpoint?
Yeah, so the whole time the game was happening, we are making note of the errors that we're making. There was a lot of times we got caught in the jungle. We weren't playing to our team's strength with taking the engages, forcing the fights in the lanes, and actually sieging. And that let them get a little bit too much tempo. We then started trying to get our picks onto the gangplank, which almost worked. We ended up, playing for the base, and then I did catch on stream. You guys were right. There was a bit of a split call at the end between trying to fight them off or just rush the towers and take the Nexus. Um, so that probably cost us that one. But we, identified what issues we had so that we were able to change up our whole play for game two, and it worked a lot better then.
Right. And so kind of building off of that, obviously losing such a tough game like game one where you kind of feel like you have it and it lets you slip away. What was like, how were you guys able, because I know that can also kind of take a toll on players mentally,
Mhm.
right? So how were you guys able to kind of rebound, from maybe a heartbreaking game one loss into kind of a dominant game two win?
Well, at least for me personally, I all of us are long-term players. I love the long, scrappy games that can go either way like that. That's my element. I thrive there. Honestly, those losses don't really hurt me that much because they're a lot of fun. Just like I
Right.
love those types of games. But I think overall, we've been playing together for a while now. We've got good mental. We're able to critique our own play and, not take it too hard when we are the ones making the mistakes. And we just are able to pick it back up, reset, go game two.
That's the best kind of mentality, because when in those kind of games they're so long and there's so much happening, it can be
Mhm.
so taxing on a player. Aless, do you have any question that you want to ask?
I mean, just like what that Ash man was so like at one point I just didn't know how else to describe it, so I said how you were just ratting fights out, like constantly just playing so far back and just able to pepper the W's, get your Q with the lethal tempo,
Mhm.
and just I'm glad they took it off the table game three. It looks like the Varus, went fairly well. I mean, overall, I mean, I think you played very well. I think I need to pull up names on because we've been filibustering for about 40 minutes. I think that say why not. I think the bot lane just played really well, really across the games that we were able to watch. Yeah, that Melio was nuts in game number two.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's just big that you guys were able to kind of pull that reverse sweep, especially after just like how heartbreakingly close that game number one was.
Mhm.
I don't think I have any other questions. So I don't know if there's anybody you want to shout out. I know we're kind of wrapping up the season here. Any
Mhm.
thoughts heading into that
Yeah.
last week next week? Or well, I guess this week.
Yeah, I mean, I'll, shout out my whole team. We had a rough season and we're able to just keep on pushing through it and, play to our best when we can. We had a really great series today. It was a lot of fun and we're gonna keep at it.
Yeah, love to hear that. Absolutely, you got to go. Hopefully, you guys go back and rewatch that game one because that was one of the most fun games I think that I've seen all season. Like that last second push was just so exhilarating. And
Mhm.
overall, again, just a tragic end that we weren't able to see how this game played out. Again, hopefully, like they were saying in chat, get like the highlight of that Alawi Penta, the play that
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
mentioning, like
Uh,
those.
Correction, it was a quadra.
A
Potion
quadra,
Potion
yeah,
didn't mention that.
potion
Yeah.
did, yeah. So hopefully we're
Not to
able to
take
get to
away
see
from the
that.
achievement, it was still huge.
Yeah, it's just like not as good. One less kill.
I know.
But no,
It's quadra, man.
yeah, congratulations on the series victory. Hopefully you guys are able to wrap up your season strong here in the next couple of days. I think you guys play against Monkeys if I remember correctly.
I think that's correct.
Well, we'll assume that it's
Yeah.
correct, but But yeah, I mean, I think that's going to wrap us up here. Thank you to everybody who stuck around and just kind of hung out. Kind of ended up with us just kind of, podcasting a little bit there for all of Game 3. But we appreciate everyone who stuck around to watch. I don't know, Zodiac, any final thoughts?
No final thoughts from me. Good games to both teams. It was a very fun, exciting 2 and trying to do the math here. 2 and like a 20th of a game to watch. But of course, stay in school, do your drugs, and eat your vegetables.